can stop me now.
Good afternoon, social media. Another week in the books, and let me talk to you because we got to witness some fucking football last night, and man, oh man, was it actually exciting for once, especially for preseason football alone. Now, we got some topics, some juicy topics at that we definitely got to talk about. But for now, do not forget to click the link in the description of this video if you want some awesome Reaper apparel or True Victory merchandise. If you're in the mood for Reaper apparel, be sure to use code NoMercySports10 for 10% off your entire purchase. Or if you're in the mood for True Victory, be sure to use code NoMercySports15 for 15% off your entire purchase. Whichever one you decide to go with, let them know I sent you. And now it's time for the most uncut, unfiltered, and uncensored sports talk show you will find on social media. And at the end of this episode, you will know whose game this is, with everybody saying, no mercy sports. Yeah, let's get into it, baby.
Nobody can stop me now.
Let me talk to you. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. And yes, I know usually I have my typical red and black hat that says No Mercy Sports, but the Olympics are going on. I gotta represent the U.S. of fucking A, baby. Why? Because I've enlisted in both the Navy and Army. So, salute, baby. But you already know I never do this alone. I got some people with me. Here is one of the hosts. Let me bring him on.
I'm a bad guy, the one you love to hate. Andrew Anderson, spitting truth that just can't wait. Got a podcast, like a punch right to your face. College sports villain. Taking it over the place. I bring the facts whether you like it or not. Dropping truth bombs, giving it all I got. They call me a villain. Well, I wear that badge with pride. Nothing but secrets they try to hide. Hard rock in my veins, rebellious to the core. I won't back down, won't take it anymore. The bad guy of the podcast world, that's me. Unleashing the truth, setting it all free. Unleashing the truth.
Ah, yes, he is a villain in the world of college sports, and it never gets old. Please help me welcome Mr. Andrew Anderson, the host of College Sports Villains. What it do, baby? The fuck you looking at?
It's time. I've been looking forward to this all day. So let's get my internet. Anyway, I've been looking forward to this all day. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Indeed, we got one more person to bring on, and here the fuck he is. Mr. Spicy Big Mac. What it do, baby? It has been a hot minute since you've been on this show. How the fuck have you been?
Oh man, I'm doing better now. I'm doing better now. I'm here. And it's all that matters, baby. I'm back. We're back.
Hey,
The
that's
train is
so-
back on the tracks, man.
Oh, love to hear it. That's the one thing that matters. You are back. You are doing the one thing that you love to do. Let's get into it. Now, we got, obviously, with last night, we saw preseason football officially kick off between the Bears and the Texans. But this upcoming season, the pressure is on for certain players. I already have some people that really need to step up to the plate this season, but who are some players that, in your opinion, need to step up and relieve some of the pressure on them?
Go ahead, Matt.
What sport are we talking about?
Football.
Um,
NFL.
Step up players. God damn.
Yes, sir. I got 3 players in mind right now.
So, for me personally, I'm gonna go one for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. I said the same thing last year. I'm gonna say it again. Like it's time. It's time. Your window is gonna slowly start closing over these next couple of years because again, we have to continue to pay guys to be on our team.
Yep.
And to pay him what we're paying him and a few of the other guys, it's just like, the window is now. The window is now. Not 5 years from now. It's now.
Facts.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. All right. Now, the Bills took a big step back offensively. Let's just be honest here. I think most of us realists in the NFL are like, yeah, they're still going to win a lot of good games. Okay, they're still going to be a tough team for defenses. But let's be honest here. It's a big step back. So what I want to see is a big step forward.
Yes.
Josh Allen in decision making.
Okay.
I want him to make. I don't give a fuck about touchdowns. I don't give a fuck about the interceptions as much. But the interceptions go down when you do what? You make good decisions with the football. Okay,
right.
That is what Aaron Rodgers is the best at doing. He's not the best arm. Like out of all the quarterbacks in NFL history, I would never pick Rodgers. He might have some of the best stats, but I wouldn't. But I will say this: he is top 10 all day long in decision-making quarterbacks. Easily, probably top 5, but I'm gonna say top 10 because there's a lot of guys that could be debated about.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm doing some marketing behind the scenes here.
You're good.
And then my last guy, Aaron fucking Rodgers.
I mean, literally 4 plays into the fucking season last year, this dude tore his fucking Achilles. He has to step up and bring the Jets back to the promised land since Joe Namath.
Exactly. And that is my whole thing is all 3 of these quarterbacks. And yes, I went quarterback. I'm quarterback happy. I love quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, let's be honest. If you don't have a good quarterback, you can't expect to score too many points.
Right.
And in the NFL nowadays, if you're not putting at least 21 points on the board, you're not going to win games. Now, I'm not going to say you can't. I'm just saying it's going to be really fucking hard to.
That's fair. All right. So you said Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Those guys really need to step up this season, mostly because the Kansas City Chiefs are getting hyped up at a possible 3-peat this season? What?
They don't have the defense.
No, they don't. Mr. Anderson, what do you think of the people that need to step up this season?
Well, as far as coaches go, Mike Tomlin, he's never had a losing season, but it's time he takes that step, right? You can't fire him. He's a good coach, but he needs to show the next level, which means transition to the next one, Russ Wilson or Justin Fields. One of them has to really come out and be the quarterback they pay for.
Fields.
More than likely, but one of them has to do it, right? And then you got Kirk Cousins. I mean, you got Penix Jr. like hiding behind him there, just waiting for his opportunity. But he's still kind of injured. So if the Falcons want to win, they really need Cousins to step up. And then, you know, I'm going to go with a running back for the Ravens, and that's Derrick Henry, because Lamar Jackson is that good. So I'm not really that concerned about Lamar Jackson. What concerned me about Lamar Jackson is his running game that's behind him. It's real easy if you can just put 4 men on line, pin your ear back, and drop 8, right? That's really hard. But if you have Derrick Henry there, you can't do that, right? If he's doing what he's paid to do.
Yep.
So that's exactly who needs to step up this year. If Derrick Henry can step up and take that pressure off, Ravens beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, I could honestly see that. I mean, hell, like we've honestly seen Joe Burrow go. We're seeing Joe Burrow go through a Eminem phase right now. Like this dude cut his hair, dyed his hair, and dude's looking like Eminem, or I should say the love child of Eminem and Cody Rhodes right now.
Can I please say this? All right, listen, Joe Burrow.
Oh, where did you want to say it?
He's very, very good, very good. Mm-hmm. But until he plays defense, Bengals ain't winning no fucking 12 games, okay, bro? I've seen multiple people go through their season this week and say they're gonna win 12 to 13 games. Not a fucking chance, okay?
So what do you think? 10 games?
Go ahead, continue. You said what?
What do you think? 10 games?
I mean, I got them between 8 and 10 games. I think 10 wins is probably their ceiling. Like, bro, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they only got 7. Understand this. Outside of TJ Hawkinson, name me another guy. Name me another starter on that defense.
I mean, true.
The last two free agencies, they've lost more than they've gained.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
I mean, it's the same thing with rookies. You know what I mean? Like, you can talk a lot of shit on rookies, but here's my whole thing is until you play in the NFL and you prove what you can do, you can't do shit.
You can't. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong about that.
I mean, and I'm not being biased there. I'm just like, look, you what you've done in college is in college. Yes, that was great. Yes. But we have to separate, and there's been times where we've had to actually separate what you've done in college and what you've done in the pros, because there's been some guys that have talked a lot of shit, and it's like, hold on, you was good in college, you was not good in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, take Jamarcus Russell for example. Sorry to cut you off.
No. I think the Bengals ceiling is 12 wins. Personally, I just, you know, I looked at their schedule. They don't particularly have a daunting schedule, and I know their defense has to get better, but like it's just not that daunting. Like the couple weeks ago, Mac, when you weren't here, we were going through some fucking NFL schedules. We were like, Jesus Christ, these teams are going to win 3 games. It's like it was terrible. But if you look at the Bengals schedule, if they can show up, Burrow can stay healthy, and everything goes right, they can win 12. I mean, their schedule's not. I mean, they played the Panthers, they played the Patriots. I mean, like that's the lot of their out of division schedule if you look at it. However, realistically, I'm with Mac. I think 10 wins is where they're going to be, but I think 12 wins is their ceiling.
Oh yeah, for sure. I completely agree. But I will say this:
the Steelers and the Browns split or beat them every year.
Yeah. Speaking of the Browns, these are the 3 players that I got that are going into this season under some serious pressure. Tua Tagovailoa, Deshaun Watson, and obviously Aaron Rodgers. Now, obviously, a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, you know what? Tua really isn't under that much pressure because he got his contract. He played a full season healthy. He did this. He did that. Okay, cool. The season before that, guess what? He got knocked down to the ground so bad that he was throwing up hand signals. You thought he saw Coolio in fucking heaven for a fucking second. Now, yes, he did deserve the contract, but now he's got to go into this season proving why he deserved said contract. Why people are saying, oh, yeah, he's not under any pressure. Yes, the fuck he is!
So this is the only thing I will fight for Tua with, okay? Especially being a left-handed guy myself. All right?
Yeah.
For the first 2 years he was there, they made no real fucking effort to switch his line and get him guys that can block the way he needs to because he's left-handed. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, last year, line was decent at best. I'll say that. Decent at best. Now,
but you also got to look at the wide receivers that he had too.
I understand that, but even with Tyreek Hill and Weddle, you still need 3 seconds. You still need 3 seconds. If you don't have an easy 3 seconds, you're fucked. I don't care how good your wide receivers are. If you're up chucking that bitch to where you hope they might be,
fuck it, Tyreek Hill down there somewhere.
And that's my point. So, like you said, imagine. So I'm just saying, imagine him having a top 10 offensive line. I think he would have made a lot more fireworks than we saw, and he had some fireworks last year. So I will say this: I will 100% say 10 to 20% of that is 100 is the offensive line. Like out of 100%, it's the offensive line. Not so much Tua. Now I'm still giving Tua the main part of it because again, it's his decisions to make.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you gotta make it just like that. It's gotta be there. If it's not there, then you throw the fucking ball away. Don't take a fucking 5-yard sack. Don't throw an interception. Throw the fucking ball out of bounds.
I mean, couldn't agree more. I mean, this dude, he's basically a Miami version of Daniel Jones. Like, he had 4 years to prove himself, and the 1 year that he has that is good, that he decides to show out, he gets paid. And now we got to see what this dude is really made of going into this upcoming season.
I think Mike McDaniels that's his name, right? Mike McDaniel. Is it McDaniel? No, it's not McDaniels, is it? Is it McDaniel?
McDaniel.
Okay. That's what I thought. But he's a smart guy. He's a football guy. He's been around football majority of his goddamn life now. I'm gonna go ahead and say between him and Tua, if Tua can at least do as good as he did last year, they're gonna go further than they did last year. I'm pretty confident in that. Now, here's the thing: if Phillips ain't well and isn't back to full strength, and Chubb gets injured, or what is the defensive lineman? Wilkins. Wilkins is still with them, right? Like, I mean, I know a handful of players, and then they got Ramsey in the secondary. So it's like they have pieces in every depth. But if 1 or 2 of those pieces go down, you know what I'm saying? Like, if the defense is giving up 35, 40 points a game, like, and you're losing by 3 to 7 points, I mean, is it really your fault?
Couldn't agree more.
So I just muted myself for a minute because I was just sent your new theme song. And I'm telling you, once I get it, I'll send it over to you. It's as good as mine, if not better.
Ooh, okay.
Like you're gonna love it, man. Like Cody's a genius. Like you're gonna love it. Like it is. Let's just put it that way. It's awesome.
Hey, I'll take your word for it. I mean, obviously, we're both in agreement that a certain somebody thinks that Vanderbilt is gonna win 6 games this year, but all 3 of us know that they won't.
Listen. I'm just saying, like, if we weren't cool, I would say, look, bro, how much you want to bet? I'll put $1,000. I'll put $1,000 they don't win 6 games. I'll put 5. Like, if I had $5,000, I'd put $5,000 on that shit.
You would probably win that bet. I ain't even gonna lie.
I'm not betting more than a paycheck, though. Like, one paycheck, okay, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I get paid every week, so it's not that bad. But, you know, like, come on, bro. You seriously think you're going to win 6 games? I put the money where your mouth is, baby. You can make a stack. I put 1,000. You put 1,000.
So, not next week on Villains, because that's the South Carolina preview. The week after that's the Alabama preview. But the week after that, he wants to do Vanderbilt. And
we did Vanderbilt.
Oh no, we're gonna give him his moment because I got a surprise. So we'll get into that. So we do it. We're gonna give him his. We're gonna admit the whole show is probably not gonna be Vanderbilt, just like the whole show next week's probably not gonna be South Carolina, but a large part. But I can't wait because I want his explanation how he's gonna break down how he's gonna beat Auburn, Kentucky, South Carolina to get to this 6-win plateau. It's I love Chris, but it is comical to think that Vanderbilt is going to win 6 games. It's just not going to happen. Like, I love the guy.
I mean, look.
You know what's going to be sad? I'm probably going to watch more Vanderbilt games just to talk shit this year than I ever have in my fucking life. I'm not a Vanderbilt fan. I'm just rooting against them every week.
Absolutely.
Lose!
Absolutely. Just give me a fucking reason to say, look, somehow I told you so just isn't enough.
So 12 would be too perfect.
Man, he's got them losing to Virginia Tech, but beating Kentucky and South Carolina. Virginia Tech couldn't beat Kentucky and South Carolina, so I'm confused. But
Listen,
I mean, that's where we are.
Last year,
now, look, obviously he's like me with me thinking or me saying that 0-1 Miami is going to beat 95 Nebraska. He's going to die on the hill because of the fact that we brought in players that had one SEC road win, and it's like, what? You had one win. Both of them had one win each, and you're acting like they just won the national fucking championship.
His problem is, all right, so they bring in these New Mexico State players. I want that to resonate with the audience right now. New Mexico State. He brings in New Mexico State players, and they're automatically better Kentucky, Auburn, South Carolina. Where South Carolina had the number 4 transfer portal class, number 4, brought in players from places like Georgia, Alabama, Oregon. I'm like, it's not the same. Like one of these things are not like the other.
Business.
Just like it is okay. So you got a quarterback who beat Auburn. That's fantastic. But what's gonna happen when he has to play week in, week out? Auburn didn't give a fuck. If Auburn played New Mexico State again last year, they would have beat them by 50. Like sometimes you just sneak up on the team. It happens. But
he didn't give a Baker Mayfield fuck.
I mean, this dude, listening to Chris, he would tell you last year's New Mexico State team would have won 8 games in the SEC. Can't make this shit up.
Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, it just is what it is. I don't get it. They're probably not going to win more than 3 games. I'd just be real with maybe 4's their ceiling.
Yeah.
Their ceiling. Hi, honey.
We got a witch. That's never going to get old anytime soon. It never will. No. And the fact that y'all know the Monty Python humor just makes it head and shoulders above.
I love Monty Python.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so aside from Tua Tagovailoa, obviously another reason that I picked Deshaun Watson going into this season under some serious pressure is because this dude was paid, 5-6 years, $230 million, fully guaranteed. Now, in the first season, yes, obviously he was.
I don't know if that's a witch or she's becoming Kamala Harris. I'm just, one or the other.
Damn it, Emily!
Hey, look, I'll be first, dude. Honey, go be president.
Yeah, so obviously going into his first season as a Cleveland Brown, he was suspended for 11 games because of what happened in Houston. And when he came back for the remaining 6 games, we didn't see the Deshaun Watson of the Houston Texans. Then he goes into next season fully healthy with a full offseason under his belt. And then he gets injured and is out for the rest of the entire season. Now, there was a game with the Cincinnati Bengals and another game with the Cleveland Browns. We saw Joe Burrow on the sideline going over the tape while we saw Deshaun Watson in the skybox bling the fuck out. Like, bro, you're getting paid 230 to 235 million a year, fully guaranteed for a reason. Why the fuck are you in the skybox and not down on the fucking sideline, going over tapes, talking to your teammates, fucking doing something? You're going into next season with high expectations. The only reason you have high expectations is because of your defense and your defense alone. So unless you plan on being the Deshaun Watson that we saw in Houston, you better do something, my guy.
But he doesn't necessarily have to. I mean,
yeah,
you're handing the ball to Nick Chubb 20 times a game.
Yeah, but Nick Chubb is coming off a season-ending injury where he tore that leg. The leg is not supposed to bend that way.
Okay.
For those tuning in,
this is my division.
It's not the leg is not supposed to bend that way.
I do my homework. Okay, this guy's squatting 600 fucking pounds. This guy's ready. That
was a knee injury, my guy.
Okay, listen.
It's tough to come back from those. I'm sorry, it really is.
But he's not. I mean, listen. Jerome Bettis did it.
Did he really?
Yeah, he came back from a couple injuries and was still the bowling ball.
Knee injuries?
Yeah,
like ACL, MCL, meniscus, all that shit.
Well, I don't know if he had all of that at one time. I mean, I know he got
that's just the areas of the knee that I know.
Yeah, because he got injured late in his career, and then he wound up coming back to win that Super Bowl because he was going to retire after the injury. But was talked out of it. That was Bill Cowher's boy. Go ahead.
Yeah, he also had Deuce Staley in that backfield too when he came back from injury to help him carry that load as well. So, maybe that's something Cleveland needs to do. I don't know who their backup running back is or anything, but they're going to need somebody to carry the load, especially coming off an injury like that. I know he's ready, but I mean, how much money did you spend on Nick Chubb? Do you really want to hand him the ball 40 times a game?
No. I said 20. He's going to get 20 carries. If you average out the entire year, he's going to probably average around 20 to maybe 25 carries a game. This is Deshaun Watson in the Browns. Deshaun Watson's going to run the ball 3 to 5 times a game. Okay, and then again, you're going to have slant passes. You're going to have pitches. There's going to be a lot of pistol and option plays in there. Like I said, I play them twice a year. They're in my division. I watch their games. I want them to lose. So that's what I'm saying, brother. Like, man, they have an offense.
Yes.
Like what they have built over there, the offensive linemen that they have. Let's not front on this. I mean, seriously, look at their offensive line. Look at the wide receivers that they have. They've got 2 decent wide receivers. They've got a very good tight end. They've got a very good running back. They've got a good quarterback.
Yeah.
You put all that. I mean, they're a good offense. Like, and that's the whole thing with that defense. They don't have to be a gaudy offense. They've only got to put up 21 to 28 points a game, and they win 90% of them. But if they don't put up the points, then yes, they lose. But that's the whole thing is like, it's not like they've got to go out and score 35 points a fucking game. They've got to average, they've got to have a couple 50-point games. Like, that's just, it's not plausible. That's not the way they play football because they lean on their defense.
So not only do I agree with you, the offense, I think Deshaun Watson's a phenomenal quarterback. And if he's anywhere like he was before, like, Cleveland will be fine. But one of the X factors for Cleveland that a lot of people don't talk about is their fucking punter. Because I watched him last year. This dude can boom a punt, and he can aim it wherever he wants. How many inside the 20 out-of-bounds kicks did he have last year? He led the league. I remember seeing that stat. So if you have a punter that can reverse the field, a defense that's really, really good, and an offense that can move the ball while winning the field position battle, Cleveland's a scary team.
They really are. If anything, if Deshaun Watson could stay healthy, they did get some really good key players. They did sign a lot of good key players to their team. Like, I mean, the AFC North, it's going to be a battleground.
I mean,
that place is going to be a war zone.
I think, if Pittsburgh goes 9-8 again, which is where I'm predicting them to be, and they'll be last in the division. Like, that's how good the North is. I mean, they'll be 9-8, a winning record, and be last in the division.
Absolutely.
Like, depending on what the Bengals do. The Bengals could fuck up really bad and go below that. I don't know with the Bengals. You just have to wait and see. But Cleveland and Baltimore are winning more games than Pittsburgh this year. I'm calling it as I see it. I
could honestly see that.
Yeah.
Now, this is where I have to disagree with you. I think Justin Fields, right? I think the Bengals are going to be last in the division. Okay. I think they win 9 games. I think the Steelers.
That's spicy, my man. That's spicy.
Cleveland Browns win 10 games, and I think the Ravens win 12 games. And I think that's
now. In all fairness, I did just say the Bengals could easily be below the Steelers for last place, depending on how they go. So I did say that.
But that's the whole thing on the tiebreaker. I think Tomlin is. I think Russell Wilson is done. I think Tomlin is going to go Fields, and Fields is going to have around 200 passing yards a game. He's going to have 1 passing touchdown. He's going to have about 50 rushing to 70 rushing yards a game. He's going to average a rushing touchdown. Okay. Fucking the running back, what's his name? He was from Alabama.
Najee Harris.
There you go, Najee Harris. He's gonna get 30.
That man easily gonna be dribbling defenders like a fucking basketball.
Listen. But here's the killer. The killer is their backup running back. Warren. Jaylen Warren. This motherfucker. You want to know why? Every time I play Madden, guess who I draft? Jaylen Warren. Okay, this little motherfucker is. He reminds me of Ray Rice, like prime Ray Rice.
Okay.
This dude can catch it out the backfield. He can run a decent route. He can run the ball. He can find the fucking opening. Like, seriously, go back last year and look at it. When Najee Harris wasn't getting, when he got hurt, and then, like, it was multiple times, even in the beginning of the season, like, he would break off 20, 30-yard runs, just boom, cut. Like, you didn't even see the hole. He just gone because he's got that scat back, like, you know what I mean, build. And, bro, that I think – the Steelers.
You know what? I will say this.
You got Givens over there. You got fucking what's that tight end's name? Fucking
for the Steelers?
It starts with an F.
Fryer Muth.
Yeah. That again, bad motherfucker. Their backup tight end. I don't remember his name, but that dude was eating. Okay, multiple games last year.
Was was like Jesse James or some shit.
They've got a decent offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, that fucking defense. Okay,
I'm not trying to cut you off, man. Like, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, unless the Bengals fuck up, Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be last. I've got no dog in the fight like y'all do. But
record too.
I mean, their defense is suspect. I don't care what anybody says. They're suspect, and I'm not sold on Russ Wilson or Justin Fields yet. Like, they got to go out there and average something. I'm not sure they can. Najee Harris is fantastic, but I mean, if you can't move the ball passing, and Russ Wilson cannot right now, I mean, they're going to stack 8 in the box and be like, "Let's go, motherfuckers." Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be last unless the Bengals fuck up. I'm going to die on that hill. Like, I'm just going to die on it.
That's fair.
I mean, if the Bengals are full strength, they're a good team. Just like the Browns.
Yeah.
That's just where Ravens are the best. We can agree on that.
Yes. I mean, look, like I said, the AFC North is going to be an absolute war zone. It has always been an absolute war zone. Even when the Cleveland Browns sucked, they actually put up a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, God.
Except for Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson's Browns, fuck Hugh Jackson.
Yeah, yes. Yes. Wholeheartedly agree to that.
I'm just going to say it's going to be the best division in football, and we know that, right?
Yeah.
It's like the American League East, where your two teams are fucking tied for the top. And
God damn it, Baltimore, lose some fucking games.
But wait a minute. Here's the kicker. Here's what really blew my fucking mind. Boston is just sitting there 6.5 games back, lurking.
They creeping.
They are creeping. And you tell me how the Braves done lost every fucking body. We'll go back to football. I just want to throw this out there because it's that comparison to the AL East. The AFC North, AL East are the elite divisions in their respective sports, right?
I mean, look, I'll say this: like the Braves brought back Jorge Soler, and
we got trouble.
Somebody wants to be a star. But yeah, so the Braves bring back Jorge Soler, the 2021 World Series MVP. I think this is something that the Braves needed.
And
I think it's something that'll project them to stay in competition with the Phillies.
So you tell me how the Braves have their whole team injured.
You playing with your friend?
Yeah, that's my friend. And they're still sitting there 6 games back.
That's what confuses me.
Philly has lost 8 of their last 11 games.
It is not confusing. Okay, I'll say this. I bet on baseball games. Okay, I bet on Ozuna, Riley, all of these guys on a regular basis to get a hit in a baseball game. I bet on your pitchers to get 3, 4, 5 strikeouts a game, and I win. So for me, I'm like, you guys are doing pretty damn good. Like, you don't win every game, of course not. But that's the whole thing. Like, you guys are still super fucking competitive.
Yes.
To where if so happened you guys did make the postseason. Listen, I understand you're not winning a World Series because how injured you are. It's a very, very, very long shot. I get that. But just making the postseason itself, I'm sorry, you should still be happy that your team did that with all the injuries. So that tells you. So what happens
even with the best player on the team who was injured?
This is how I was feeling last year, where it was like, I know we're going to get to the postseason, but we're not going to do shit. Okay. But I was so happy we were making it to the postseason. Like, we're doing this.
I'm happy. Here's the reality, right? So you got the reigning NL MVPs out.
Yes.
You got our ace Spencer Strider. He's out. Sean Murphy's been out over half the year. Ozzy Albies is out for 2 months. I mean, that's shit. That's a 30-year team right there that's just gone. And you're just chilling 6 games back. What I think, if the Braves can put together. Yeah, he's playing with his friends. I think Braves can win the NL East because the Phillies are falling apart. If the Braves can somehow win the NL East, that is the biggest victory they can have for the year. They're not beating the Dodgers. They're not beating the Yankees. They're not beating the Orioles. Like Max said, I get that. But winning the NL East right now, man, I'd wear that badge with pride. Hey, look, we ain't got no fucking body, and we took
got
it.
swept by the Yankees. And
he said he's AC.
This is coming off of the fact that the Yankees acquired Jazz Chisholm Jr. from the Marlins. And the dude had 4 home runs in the 3 games that the Yankees played against the Phillies. It's crazy.
So for me, I mean, that's what you guys need. You guys need personality, and that's the worst thing about the Yankees is the Yankees try to suck personality out of motherfucking people. You gotta shave your face. You gotta be a Yankee, and it's like, nah, bro, man. If you let some of them guys come in there, like if you're gonna pay for the best, let the best do what they do best, especially when you got great personalities. It'd be different if when he gets negative and he gets angry and upset, he rubs it off on people. He's one of those. No, that guy is super positive, super pumped, and has a great fucking personality. Too bad he can't grow a beard. I'd say grow that motherfucker, baby.
No, I completely agree. The Yankee standard needs to go out the window. You can grow a beard, but I will say this: just make sure that it looks clean and cut. You know,
we're not talking Brandon Marsh, okay?
Yeah,
okay,
like something like Dallas Keuchel, for crying out loud. I mean, like, yes, he has a beard, but that fucking beard is
more like
smooth.
Damon. I'm thinking, like, you know what I mean? You want to grow it a little long, you could do it like Damon did with the Red Sox. Like, that's acceptable. Like, it's long, but it's nice. It's trimmed. It's, you know what I mean? That's fine. But, I mean.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. I'm going off of Damon's hair.
Biker, dirty, greasy kind of, you know. I can understand.
Yes. Like, look, I want some of the Yankees players to grow some facial hair, but look, at least keep it clean cut. That's all I want. But the whole you gotta be clean shaven, you gotta be all this, you gotta be all that. Like, no. That just sucks the fun out of everything.
I get what you're saying. However, I like my little beard, right? I love it. It looks great. But if the Yankees come to me tomorrow and say, look, we're going to let you be a relief pitcher. We're going to pay you $8 million over the next 3 years, but you got to shave that shit right now. I'm in the bathroom. like, I mean, that's not such a high price to pay. I'm out there, you know, I understand that, you know, it's different times and all, but that is not a high price to pay for the amount of money that they're making. If you're making $200 million, motherfucker, manufacture some personality. Fuck that. Like, you better figure that shit out. You just got paid $200 million. You better go out there and you better draw a Mr. Magoo mustache on you or something that you need. But like, you shaving that shit and you gonna go play. Like $200 million, you better be out there cutting the grass for them too. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that out there.
Oh, man, that's true. But I will say that speaking of New York, the third and final player that I picked that is under some serious pressure going back to football, that is under some serious pressure going into this NFL season, obviously Aaron Rodgers. Why? Because the dude literally played 4 plays, went down, and was out for the entirety of the fucking season. But somehow he found a way to be in the top players or top 100 NFL players. Why? Purple. I don't know fucking why. I don't know how. I don't know what. I don't know when. But still.
I mean, he's Aaron Rodgers.
He's a top 100 player. Come on, man. Don't act like that.
I mean, the dude played 4 snaps, and then his season was over just like that.
Yes, okay. Listen, but
and Patrick Mahomes goes down tomorrow and can't play next year. The year after that, he's still going to be the top quarterback. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
I was going to say, yeah, even if Patrick Mahomes were still to go down, he would still be in the top 10 for some ungodly reason.
What number was he?
92.
Exactly. I'd have been concerned if he was top 50. I would be concerned then. But
okay, that's
breaking in the 90s, like, you know, like, oh, well. Oh, that's right. Oh, can't forget Aaron Rodgers. That's why he made that shit. All right. Come on, let's be real. You said name me 100 motherfuckers in this league, and you just started going and looking at teams saying, okay, I can feel this guy. All right, well, this guy, and you sitting there like, all right, I'm in the 90s. Okay, I got to be real cautious. So I mean, and I think that's why he got in. But let's not. I will give him the respect that he is one of the best regular season quarterbacks ever.
Yes.
Okay,
I mean,
he's like the opposite of Eli. Okay, he's like he gets to the postseason and it's like.
Here's the deal. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers under a lot of pressure. Here's the thing. He's under a lot of expectations. He's not under any pressure. Aaron Rodgers does not give a fuck. He is out there eating mushrooms in the off season. He does not feel that heat. Like he doesn't care. He should. The money he's making and the expectations from him. But just knowing the dude, I'm watching him at UFC events. I'm watching him out there in the kimono and shit in the end. He doesn't feel that pressure. He doesn't feel that pressure at all. He's high.
Yeah, that's true. I only include him because it was like, yo, you played 4 snaps last year. You go down, your season is over, and now you're like anybody who's a Jets fan is expecting you to be the second coming of Jesus and lead the Jets to another Super Bowl like Joe Namath did back in the 60s.
Hey, look, I love him. He made $20 million last year. That was his salary. So 4 snaps, he made $5 million a snap. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's where I'm trying to be in life. I'm trying to go to work for 4 hours, get injured, and then make $28 million. I just like, I don't understand. But the problem for me is, what other people can you name on the Jets team?
I mean, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. That's about it.
I mean, so are the expectations really there? Like you can't take a team like the Panthers, right? What the Panthers were last year, but insert prime Tom Brady, and then they're going to win the Super Bowl. Quarterbacks matter, but goddamn, like you got to have a team around them. The Jets ain't that team. They're just, I mean, like, but they're going to beat the Bills.
Listen,
they're
going to
beat the
Rodgers
Ravens
and Wilson arguing?
Yes. Oh my God, I saw the memes. They were too good.
I mean, are they going to beat the Chiefs? Are they going to beat the Ravens? Are they going to beat the Bills? They're not beating these fucking teams. I have no expectations other than
I completely agree.
A winning season is where they're aiming, because that's as far as they're going.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is in that division, okay? Like, they have to beat the Bills. They can't. Like, if they do not split the division, there's no chance of the playoffs.
Correct.
There's no chance, because 90% of chance who they're going to lose to in their division. They're going to lose to the Dolphins. They're going to lose to the Bills.
Correct.
Okay, those are two. But that's the whole thing. If they were to beat the Patriots twice, they were to beat the Bills once, and even if they lost both times in Miami, that's still a possibility that they could get into the playoffs in the wild card spot. But you know, that's still slim pickings, baby. That's slim pickings.
Say the Dolphins win the division.
Also consider the fact that how stacked the AFC is too.
That's my point. Say the Dolphins win the division and the Bills come in second, and then you go over there and you got Cleveland and Cincinnati, possibly Pittsburgh sitting at 10, 11 wins apiece.
Yep.
And then you go down, you got Houston. Like, where are they making the playoffs? Like where are they going to jump in? Like they have to win the division to make it in. Like that's the reality. And no one in the world is picking the Jets to win that division. Nobody with the right mind.
You'd be surprised if you listen to ESPN radio.
Ain't no way they're picking the Jets to win that division. There's a lot of meth and crack in ESPN. I understand that. But, I mean, like, they're not letting that slip out that they're going to project the Jets to win that division. That's crazy talk.
ESPN, I hope you're sitting down watching this, eyes peeled and ears open. Because if you think that the Jets are winning the AFC East, you are either high, dumb, or both, or just flat out plain fucking stupid.
Jets aren't winning the division. Like Matt said earlier, I'll put $1,000 on Vandy not winning 6 games. I'm not a betting man. I don't bet. It's against my religion or whatever. But with that being said, if I had $1,000 that I was able to do it, I would bet $1,000 that the Jets aren't going to win that fucking division. Even with Aaron Rodgers, they're not winning that division.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
I mean, fuck the Jets. I mean, that outside of Aaron Rodgers, I mean, like they really not a good team. I mean, you can't just add.
They got a defense. I'll say they got a defense.
They got a decent. You can't add whipped cream to shit and be like, this is a dessert now. That's not how the life works. I mean, their defense is their defense better than the Browns? Is their defense better than the Ravens?
With Myles Garrett leading the defense on the Browns? Fuck no.
I do not believe in the Jets, even with Aaron Rodgers. And on top of that, Aaron Rodgers is not a young man. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is old when it comes to football age, right? How old is Aaron Rodgers? 38, 39? I mean,
he's like 41, 42 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's ancient in quarterback years. I mean, Tom Brady was able to do it, but I mean, he was the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, but Rodgers ain't that guy that could win 6 Super Bowls in fucking 20 years.
I mean, not with the teams. And I know that we got a lot of Green Bay fans, and I'm not trying to piss y'all off, but I'm just going to be honest with you. Green Bay, outside of Aaron Rodgers,
piss them off.
Green Bay did not have the teams put together for Aaron Rodgers to win all these Super Bowls. I get that you went a long way with him, but like they would lose to some fucking elite teams because their teams were just better top to bottom. They'd be like, oh, Aaron Rodgers sucks. Well,
they lost to a 9-7 New York Giants team in the NFC Championship in 2011.
I mean, you're giving up 32 points a game and you're blaming the fucking quarterback for losses. That's great. How do you? That's like when Caleb Williams, everybody was trashing him. The motherfucker was averaging 46 points a game and he took 5 fucking losses. How are you putting that on Caleb Williams? Like, stop somebody, motherfucker. Stop somebody. I was playing college football last night, y'all. I'm playing South Carolina Clemson 1 versus 2. The final score is 46-42. That's how fucking close it was. And every time they got the ball, they scored. I'm like, God damn it, stop. But that's the same thing. Like, if you giving up 47 points a game, then you can't be mad at the quarterback, bro. That's not how this works. No.
I completely agree.
I'm going to look at the Jets schedule now, just because.
Oh, we're going to get to the Jets schedule. Don't you worry about that. We're going to get to it later on in the show. But for right now, much like I mentioned last night, if we were able to see 95 Nebraska take on 2001 Miami Hurricanes, there are so many dream matchups that I wish we could actually witness right now. Now, obviously, being a kid was waking up for Saturday morning cartoons, but being an adult was waking up for college fucking game day.
Oh, that was me as a kid waking up for fucking sports. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Cartoons are cool and all, but when sports were on TV, cartoons never existed. And you can ask my parents. Since the time I was 4 years old, I wake up, grab the news, and a newspaper don't exist in your world. I get it, but we only had the newspaper.
Oh no,
I grabbed the sports page.
I had a paper route.
Don't even get me wrong. I literally read a newspaper just to look at the standings for fucking baseball.
Look. Dun, dun, dun.
It's going to be coming. But for right now, we got some college football dream matchups that we got to talk about. Now, the 2008 Florida Gators was a literal criminal team that was legit committing crimes. But somehow Tim Tebow, of all people, was Tim Tebow was able to keep that team under control somehow. I don't know how. I don't know why. Don't ask me. But on top of that,
Jesus took the wheel.
I mean, also your head coach is over there kicking people. Don't forget that. That's what kept them in line. You gonna miss a kick? Pow! He's gonna kick you. I'm just saying.
No, I completely agree. But on top of that, 2004 USC was a team of destiny. Even with Reggie Bush, that man was a literal cheat code.
Hey, team
So,
of destiny until they saw the Longhorns. But continue.
no, I completely agree. So, between '04 USC and '08 Florida, who wins and why?
I mean,
go
all right.
Reggie Bush. I'm gonna go Reggie Bush.
So here's the issue with that, right? Reggie Bush was a phenomenal player. However, Tim Tebow may be the greatest college football player ever.
Especially during his time too.
I got to watch Tim Tebow play live because
Mhm.
Florida came to South Carolina during his time there, and I watched him a lot on TV. I watched a lot of Reggie Bush too. The problem lies in what happened when they came up against Vince Young, right?
Yes.
Like the defense is nothing they could do, and Tim Tebow and Aaron Hernandez out there, I
think they had Percy Harvin.
You would honestly just yes, and you would immediately come up and say Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart of that team, but when you really break it down, I mean, it's a lot closer than you would think. Now that Florida Gator defense was stout. That's where they made their name. I mean, Florida wasn't out there scoring 50 points a game. Florida was out there scoring 24 points a game, going undefeated, beating the hell out of everybody. I mean, Reggie Bush is one of the most flashy players ever, but Tim Tebow is the greatest college football player ever. I think 04 is a better overall team in the history of college sports. I think because of what they did and what they were. But if these two, and this is going to be really weird, but if these two teams play head to head, I have a problem seeing how USC would put up enough points to beat Florida.
I mean, especially with
the ball.
Was it Major Wright when they played in the national championship against Oklahoma?
Right.
Like that dude didn't go for the ball; he went for the player.
I mean that. I'm going to say 08 wins that game, but if the question is who's the greater team, maybe 04 USC. They were explosive and fun to watch, but football is a game of matchups, right? That's why you see the Chiefs get beat by the Patriots sometimes. You don't know how that happens. Well, it's the way they line up. Like it's a game of matchups. Like it's just the way it is. And I think 08 Florida doesn't match up very well with 95 Nebraska, but they match up really well with 04 USC. You see what I'm saying? So depends. If the question is who's the greater team, I'm going with 04 SC. If you're asking me who would win that game because this is dream matchups, I think 08 Florida wins that game.
Yeah, I'd say so too. I mean, like Tim Tebow was just a special breed when he was at the University of Florida. I mean, when the way that he conducted himself in the post-game conferences or the post-game interviews and everything like that. Even God, what was it? I think it was a loss to Ole Miss, and he delivered the coldest speech I have ever seen in my entire life. You are not going to see anybody that is going to work harder than me or be better than me. I guarantee you that. Like, man, that was so like, bro, Tebow. Who told you to go that hard in that post-game interview?
Well, I'm gonna throw this out there. How much nil money would have Tim Tebow and Reggie Bush made if it was available during those days? Jeez, man. They may not even went to the NFL till after their senior year with the amount of money they would have been raking in through nil.
Oh, completely agree. Completely agree.
So I'm just saying, like, there's at least one person at every position from this USC team that made it to the NFL.
Really?
To the 2014. There's one person or multiple people from every. I'm sitting here on Wikipedia looking at the wide receivers, quarterbacks, linebackers, and there's at least 1 or 3 or 4 guys from each one of these position groups that made it to the NFL.
I was gonna say, like, the only 2 I really know are Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart, and that's about it.
You got Ryan Khalil. He was a damn good offensive lineman. He played for the Carolina Panthers for like 12 or 13 years. You got Frosty Rucker, Cedric Ellis on the defensive line. Like, you got Josh Pinkard from their secondary, Jason Leach from their secondary. Like, offensive line, Fred Mueller. He played for 8 years. Matt Castle, another quarterback that was on this team.
Jesus, wow, Matt Castle went to USC?
Yes.
Wow, hey, the more you know.
Yeah, and then again, you got the other Steve Smith that was on this team. And
oh my God, he was a wide receiver for the Giants, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then you got Lofa Tulupa or Tulup. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he played for the Browns for a while.
Some fucking Samoan name. I'm not even gonna.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's decent guys all throughout this team. Jason Leach, you got Sean Cody, Frosty Rucker. I mean, like I said, it's not like a star-studded team. Like, yeah, okay, but I mean, this is a damn good team. Like, I remember watching them as a kid.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I do. And they were some good names, but I mean, to James' point, you got, I mean, you think about that team, they had Percy Harvin, right? Like, they had Jeff Demps, who was really, really good. They had Deontay Thompson, who played a long time in the NFL, like you said. I mean, they had John Brantley, who was the backup quarterback there. Cam Newton was on that 08 Florida team. Speaking of backup quarterback,
backup too.
Yes, I mean, that just tells you how good they were, how good Tim Tebow was. I mean, Aaron Hernandez. I mean, we could go on and on about straight killer, over and over.
Fudge packing killer.
Yes,
I think
he wrote a love letter to
one
of his cellmates. I mean, y'all remember Brandon Spikes, right? He went to Florida. He was on that 08 team. Pouncey.
No, Takeo Spikes because he went to Auburn.
I mean, Mike Pouncey and Maurice Pouncey, like, you know them. Both of them were in the NFL. Both of them were on that 08 team. I mean, like, you had, like, those two teams were so fucking good, man. That's why I love this matchup. I think in head-to-head, I think 08 Florida wins. But if you're going to list the greatest teams ever, I think you put 04 above 08. I just do.
Yeah. I mean, with especially how explosive that Reggie Bush was.
Did Florida lose a game that year?
In 08?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But here's
USC
the thing.
didn't.
Playing in the pussy 12. Wait. Playing in the pussy 12 and playing in the SEC is different. Competition matters.
Hold on. I don't know divisions. I'm looking at records. Just looking at records. I understand.
So let me break it.
I get it.
Let me break it down. So, like, all right. So Florida that year, I mean, they played Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina, who South Carolina in those days were really fucking good under Steve Spurrier.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing all these fantastic, and Florida State, who was really good. So that all that was on Florida's teams. Now Southern Cal was playing a Notre Dame team that was down, and then they were playing Oregon State, and then they're playing Washington State.
Notre Dame was also playing up a fight.
Wait. Then they're playing California. And then they're playing Stanford. Like, think about competition matters, right? The Jets can go fucking 17-0 by playing the fucking Panthers every single week. But when they run into the Ravens, they're going to get their shit pushed in. That's just how these things, that's what happened when they ran into Texas that year. They're out there busting people up in the Pac-12, and then they ran into fucking Vince Young, Suicide Vince, I call him. But you know, that's just the way. This is the way it goes. That's what matters. And that's why I love the playoff now, because you can have 2 losses and make the playoffs like the NFL, and that's the way it should be. So you get these undefeated teams and bullshit conferences like the Big 12 and Pac-12. Well, that's not impressive to me. I'm not impressed that you beat Stanford in California. It's not impressive. But if you go 13-0 and then your first round playoff match is against fucking 10-2 Alabama and you win that game, well, now I'm impressed. You know what I mean? But with that being said, going 13-0 is hard, regardless what division you're in. And
there's
that 04 team was badass.
Oh yeah, and there's only a few select teams that could actually go undefeated and actually win the national championship too.
I don't think you're going to see a lot of undefeated teams anymore. Like you've seen, like every year in college football, you generally have 1 or 2 teams that went undefeated and they met each other. That's how it happened, right? That's how it went. But now with the inception of the Big Ten and the SEC, you know, they're adding Texas, Oklahoma, Big Ten, added Oregon, USC, and all the. I mean, it gets really hard to run the table now, right?
Yes.
Unless, you know, in the ACC, Big 12, you like Utah has a chance or whatever. But I mean, like, let's be honest. All right, let's just say Utah goes 12-0, right? In the Big 12. That's impressive or whatever. And then you have Ohio State, which goes 10-2 in the Big 10. Let's just say losses to Penn State and Oregon or Michigan, you know, just for fuck's sake, 10-2. Do you really think that 12-0 Utah team's better than that 10-2 Ohio State team?
No, I'm going to take...
but I want to see them play.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hell,
as a betting man, yeah, I mean, I would. I'd probably throw a couple bucks on Utah. Let's go, baby. See if they can get that upset. But I mean, are they going to be the favorite? No,
absolutely
Las
not.
Vegas
They're going to be the underdog just because it's Ohio State.
I mean, just like I try to tell Chris every week, competition matters.
Absolutely. But I will say this. We got a lot more football to talk about. But we are going to get into the NFL. Why? Because the NFL preseason kicked off figuratively and literally last night. We are going to take a quick commercial break. We will see you back here in less than a minute.
Icy Breeze is the world's first portable air conditioner and cooler. A premium ice cooler that doubles as an eco-friendly portable air conditioner. This is not a swamp cooler just blowing air across ice. Over 60 parts and components allow Icy Breeze to achieve what no other product in the world can do. The secret behind the Icy Breeze is an innovative design that circulates chilled ice water through a heat exchanger in the lid, replacing the Freon used in most ACs. Fresh air is drawn from hidden vents in the top of the cooler, pulled across the exchanger, and chilled down to 35 degrees cooler than the outside air. A 3-speed fan control delivers Icy Breeze's dry, cold air up to 25 miles per hour, just like a car AC. And a stay-put flex hose directs the breeze in any direction. Wherever you need it, Icy Breeze helps you beat the heat.
I tell you what, if you are a person that loves to do some game day things, that cooler is meant for you. Now, speaking of football, we are going to stay on the topic of football. And why? Because I hope some of y'all that are tuning in have your eyes peeled and ears open, because whether you want to or not, let me talk to you, all right? We got football season that is literal weeks away. And over the last few weeks, I have been doing things like going over the divisions of football, and at the same time, like, hey, who is their counterpart, you know? Like the Las Vegas Raiders, for example. Let's go over the schedule for the Las Vegas Raiders, but let's also go over the schedule for the UNLV Red Raiders, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, we are here to talk to finish off the AFC North and go into the AFC East. and it's only a matter of time before we get into the NFC. So, without further ado, let's talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes and their upcoming schedule for this football season. They going to get to the Cleveland Browns because we talked about them, but let's talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes. So, first game off, they play Akron. That's an easy win. Can we agree upon that, Big Mac?
I don't think it'll be an easy win, but they'll win it. They'll probably win it by 7 points.
Ooh, really? You have that much faith in Akron?
Well, so Akron played a lot of really close games last year. Like, yeah, they got beat, but they played close games.
All right. All right. So Ohio State gets a win over Akron. After that, they welcome Western Michigan, who, again, they obviously get the win over.
Mm-hmm.
After that, Marshall comes to visit. Again, they get the win over Marshall.
I'd like to see an upset there. I'd like to see an upset there, but I don't think so.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
They should be able to beat Marshall, but my whole thing is after 2 back-to-back should be easy wins for that team.
Yeah.
Marshall could be sneaky. It could be sneaky.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they should beat Marshall, so they should be 3-0.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, look, I'm on the same ship as you that maybe Marshall gets the upset over Ohio State. But, yeah, I think going into Michigan State, they're 3-0. After Michigan State, they're 4-0 when they welcome Iowa. That's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know any of the players on Iowa. Iowa's usually a pretty solid team, so they're always going to give you a good game, like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah. So it's going to be a close win for Ohio State, or
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. After that, they travel to the West Coast to Oregon to take on the Ducks.
Ohio State.
Yeah. After that, they go back home and they welcome Nebraska.
They should beat Nebraska.
That's what I'm thinking too. But here's where things get interesting. If you haven't played College Football 25, then you don't know what a tough environment Penn State really is. Why? Because Ohio State goes into Penn State to take on the Nittany Lions.
Ohio State.
Really? Wow. You know what? I honestly think that Ohio State takes its first loss on the season against Penn State.
So no. Oregon has a better chance of beating Ohio State than Penn State does. I'm just going to be real with you, and I think Penn State's a very good team, and I think they're a very well coached team, and it's a hard place to play. But Ohio State is on a different level. Like, if you go back and you look at the recruiting classes over the past 5-6 years and the transfer portal, they're neck and neck with Georgia. They really are. When it comes to 5 stars and who they're recruiting, Ohio State is a fucking dynamo this year. I have them going 12-0. That's how good I think they're going to be.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so Mac and I, we obviously just got done talking about Penn State. They go back to Columbus and they welcome Purdue.
That's an ass beating. Mac, you're on mute.
Oh,
yeah, that's a win-win. Okay, so listen. For me, they're gonna lose one game from what I see, and it's either gonna be Oregon or fucking
Michigan.
Yeah.
What?
That's Michigan, right? Not Western Michigan, right?
Regular
Yeah.
Michigan, they played last game of the year every year.
Okay. Now I'll say this. It also depends on who's playing quarterback for Michigan.
Yes.
Michigan's not beating Ohio State this year.
Yep. They lost.
Everybody's
Michigan
gone,
lost
man.
a shitload.
And their coach.
Listen, one loss. I'm saying one loss, and it's probably going to be to Oregon.
I agree. If they lose, it's going to be to Oregon. I agree with you 100%.
I mean, I do see one loss, but I still think that it's going to be Penn State. I mean, Michigan, when what was it, a few years ago, really had to call a timeout because Penn State was just that loud.
I'm looking up something.
Oh yeah, you good.
Yeah, no.
All right, but so
I've
Northwestern, Indiana, obvious wins, and then the game, as everybody likes to call it, versus Michigan.
I mean, Ohio State.
Yeah,
I'm saying Ohio State is probably going to be one of the best teams to bet on to run through. Like,
oh yeah,
I mean, they've got the best chance on that. Looking at their schedule.
Yep.
Just saying. So Penn State is really good, right? Great environment, got a great coach, best they've been since the late 90s with Paterno, right?
Yep.
Ohio State has won 7 straight games against them currently right now. That's
It's going to be 8.
It is. I mean, I'm not talking shit. That's the level that Ohio State's on. I think
completely agree.
So I'm not going to ruin it yet because, I run College Sports Villains and I do all my predictions in the month of August. All my predictions come out in the month of August, right? But I just a little sneak preview. I'm going to do. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to do my Final Four and my championship prediction and all that. I will go ahead and tell y'all that Ohio State is in my Final Four. I won't tell you if they're in my championship game or nothing like that, but Ohio State is that damn good.
Yeah. And also, this is Ryan Day's best year to beat Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan sucks.
Oh, yeah. They granted, Michigan lost a literal shitload after this past season, but this is also like I said, it's a controversial take, but I really think that Ryan Day is in the hot seat right now.
No.
If he can beat Michigan going into this year, yeah,
listen. Okay, like there's no. I mean, you're talking about a 90-some% chance that Ohio State is going to run away in that game. Okay, like I just again the players, the difference, the caliber. Okay,
completely agree.
Like my man up here keeps preaching. Okay, competition matters when you have a team that is head and shoulders above you. Okay, the players, the talent, the skill, just the overall program. Okay, because that's what it is, a fucking program at Ohio State. All right, like so you don't, if you don't compare, you can't compete.
Yes. No, I completely agree. But obviously we got Ohio State either going 11-1 or completely undefeated. Now let's talk about another Ohio team. That team being the Cleveland Browns. They got a lot to prove this season.
Okay,
especially if Deshaun Watson wants to stay healthy.
Did you guys do the Ravens?
Yeah, I think it was about a week or two ago.
Okay. What was your prediction? Just your overall prediction. What do you think the record's going to be?
I had them at 13-4.
Yeah, I think it was either 13-4 or for me 13-4 or 14-3.
Okay, I guess I'm feeling really more realistic in myself because, dude, I was like, dude, we should be able to go 12-5. So I'm thinking 12 games. 12 games should be where we're sitting at.
That's not bad.
So I mean, hey, listen, you guys have higher expectations than I do. That makes me feel even better. Okay.
I mean, look, Lamar Jackson is a 2-time MVP, and on top of that, he's got Derrick Henry in the backfield.
Right.
Now.
He now has some relief.
Now,
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
Like we got
And
two dudes.
Look, if we were to do a top 5 player or NFL players that are under pressure, Lamar Jackson is definitely in the top 5 because he's won MVPs, but he can't get it done in the playoffs for some ungodly reason.
The MVP itself says he's doing his part. Like, I'm confused with that statement.
Okay. So last year, at the beginning of the year, what did I say when we re-signed fucking Gus Edwards and we had J.K. Dobbins? What did I say? I said, man, they're injury prone. They're not going to last. It's not going to work. We need to get a big, strong back in there to help him. And what happened? They got injured. They went down. It was fuck off. Okay. So now we got Derrick Henry. Okay. And it's fucked up because the Titans should have traded him to us. They should have traded him to us. But the owner was like, no, we are not trading Derrick Henry to the Ravens. We are not going to help them win a Super Bowl. Literally, that's what they said. They went on record and said that shit. But anyway.
I mean, that's called good business. Why help your competition? Just make it to the next level. I'd be like, fuck you too.
That ain't our division. Like my whole thing is I would understand how, like, if we were in their division.
It's competition.
Yeah. It's your division rival.
They wasn't winning shit. They could have got some fucking draft for him.
Wait. Chris says the Titans are winning the South and going to the AFC Championship game. Matt, calm down.
With who? With who? Rudolph is bitch slapping fucking Levis at practice. What are you talking about? They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
James, did he or did he not say that?
Man.
The Titans are winning the South. They beat the Texans. He
literally said that the Titans are winning the South with Anthony Richardson coming back fully healthy, with the Texans being as good as they are, and with the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. You can't make this shit up.
He said Will Levis to Calvin Ridley is going to be the best connection in the NFL.
I want that shit. I want that shit like a motherfucker.
He's on some good shit.
Boy,
he's no. He's on that blue shit from New Mexico by the chemistry teacher. If you know, you know.
I mean, look, this dude has the Titans winning the South with Will Levis. He has Vanderbilt winning 6 games. He's got that good going on right now, wherever he's at.
And I got an update from ESPN that DeAndre Hopkins might be out for the season because he left practice in a knee brace or some shit like that. Oh yeah, have fun trying to throw to Joe fucking Schmo when you really said that, we got DeAndre Hopkins. Guess what? DeAndre Hopkins isn't in his fucking prime anymore.
Hold on. How many games did he play last year? He didn't even play the whole season last year, did he? And he still got over 1,000 yards and had 7 touchdowns.
Hey, Nuke is a good player. I'm not going to say that.
That's production. Listen, my whole thing is like when you get down like 800 and some yards, that's when you know you're slipping. But as far as I'm concerned, he's still over 1,000-yard fucking receiver. That's not easy. That's not easy.
Yeah.
So you have the Titans winning the South as well, Matt?
Fuck no. I'm talking about fucking DeAndre Hopkins. No. Listen. If they won 5 fucking games, I'd be blown. Like, listen to me. Here's the bet. Which one's going to lose more games? Vanderbilt or the Titans?
Vanderbilt.
I mean, Titans play more games. I don't know, man. That's a rough one. It's a rough one. It really is.
I like this game.
I mean, I'm just gonna look at their schedule real quick. I'll let y'all continue on because I'm not gonna hijack the show. But they start with the 49ers, and then they Packers. Jets,
that's a loss before even Tennessee steps onto the field.
Wait, Packers, Jets, Dolphins, Bills, Lions, Chargers, Vikings, Texans, Jaguars, Bengals, Jaguars, and then the Texans again. Where are they gonna go? They're not gonna make 6 wins. It's not gonna happen.
In my honest opinion, they get a win over Green Bay.
And I hope to God it's the first game of this fucking season. I want them to beat the Bears, and then let's keep it moving. Just loss.
I mean,
loss.
The Bears are a 5-point favorite already. And they're starting a rookie quarterback. That tells you what the NFL thinks about the Titans right there.
Now, I will say this, though. The Titans have a good secondary. Their secondary is decent. Their linebackers, defensive line, they got one guy. Okay? They got one guy. But, I mean, hey, he's still really good. Okay? Simmons is good. But I digress. Even with the semi-decent defense, there's not enough there on offense to do anything remotely productive.
Hey, I like that game. So I got Vanderbilt losing 8 games. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna count how many losses I think the Titans got while y'all continue.
14, at least.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I could see. I could honestly see that.
All right, let's get to the Browns.
Yes, let's get to the Browns indeed. So, first game of the season, Dallas comes into Cleveland.
I got them at 14 losses already. Yeah. Like it's a tough. They may have the toughest schedule in the NFL. They really might. That shit is crazy. Y'all get a chance to look at it. But yeah, I got Cleveland beating Dallas. I think Dallas is overrated.
Okay. Nope. Yeah. I mean, look, they've been overrated since their last Super Bowl win, which is probably when you actually witnessed it.
I did. I was alive. In 95, I was 14.
I was alive.
And how
you were alive?
Hey, look, I was alive, but I was a fucking baby at the time. I was fucking 2 years old.
Yeah, that's right.
6 years old.
I can remember. I remember watching the Super Bowls. I remember asking for my birthday, I wanted the Dallas Cowboys sheets. And it did. It was Troy Aikman. It was fucking Emmitt Smith and fucking Michael Irving.
Yeah,
Irving like this one hand catching. Heisman pose.
Don't forget Jay Novacek. I mean, one of the greatest tight ends ever to do it was also on that team.
He wasn't on my bed sheets.
I'm just saying. That Troy Aikman, and I'm going to get back to Cleveland, but one day we're going to do the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL, and that dude's going to be in the top 3.
Number one,
easily.
Number
one,
number one.
Yes.
The offense that Troy Aikman had.
Yes,
it's not even close.
No, that dude was overrated as fuck.
All I'm saying is, if you would have put Jim Kelly in that motherfucker on that team, they'd have won fucking 6 Super Bowls, bro.
Or John Elway.
They would have won 4 fucking straight Super Bowls.
Fuck John Elway. Okay.
I mean,
quarterback, but fuck him.
John Elway was a better quarterback than Jim Kelly. Like, you can say fuck him all you want, but he was a better quarterback.
I mean, the man was fucking
I'm not saying he wasn't a great quarterback. He was fucking legendary. But fuck him. Fuck him. He won't come to Baltimore. Fuck him. He's the reason why the Colts left. Like, he was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Hey, but wait a minute. Because of John Elway, you have the Ravens. Like, you're looking at it wrong.
No.
You're looking at it the wrong way.
Okay, listen. The fact that I was a 6-year-old rooting for the Dallas Cowboys, there's something wrong with that. Okay.
Hey, look, I got an even better story. I'm a fucking Giants fan until the day that I die. And my own mother even admitted to my grandfather that she wanted to be a Dallas Cowboys, mostly for the goddamn star, the goddamn star alone and the talent that the Cowboys had. But my grandpa, God rest his soul, my grandpa was like, no, you are being a Giants fan. You are going through the fucking suck.
Well, I mean, bro, listen, you have 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime.
I mean, true. I even got to witness the greatest Super Bowl of all time.
Another guy, jerk off.
Look, I got to watch Phil Simms quarterback the Giants. He's a little before your time, but I watched him go down with a gruesome injury, and I watched Jeff Hostetler come in and win that Super Bowl, which just made me think that the Giants were that good, didn't need Phil Simms, because Jeff Hostetler went on to the Raiders and got a contract and sucked just fucking ass. But the point is, the Giants in my lifetime, hit and miss, have had some of the best teams I've ever seen. Just putting together for 2 or 3 years these amazing teams, and I got what I wanted. Y'all can go. We'll suck for about 6-7 years now, and then we'll come back. Like, that's what the Giants are in my lifetime. They really are.
No, I mean, and look, 2006 and 2007 is a prime fucking example. I mean, they went on one of the most Cinderella run teams that I have ever seen in my lifetime. They went into the playoffs. Everybody bet against them. As soon as they got to the Super Bowl, everybody in the country and their dead relatives knew that the Patriots were going to win. Why? Because they were undefeated. But the Patriots weren't expecting one thing. The fucking front 4 or even front 3 that the Giants had. They made Tom Brady's life in that Super Bowl a living nightmare, and it showed.
So the reason the Giants won that game is because for some ungodly reason, the Patriots just away, since I keep freezing. So the reason that it happened is, for some reason in that game, New England abandoned the running game and just started throwing every possession. It made no sense, but they lost. I don't know if they were trying to prove a point. We're the best team. We do what we want, but it certainly didn't work out for them.
I mean, comedic wise, I look at it like this. I really, when it came to the Super Bowl, it was like God was watching this and he was looking down. Oh, hell no. New England ain't going to go undefeated and ruin the 72 Dolphins. Tyree, suit up. You're going in.
Look. The last time God was proud of Boston is when we threw the T in the harbor. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there.
That's fair.
I mean, Boston has made Boston sports altogether, all of them, Celtics, Patriots, have made a living in being the villains, the Red Sox. Like, Boston is the villains of the sports world, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really hard for anybody. Nobody outside of Boston pulls for Boston because fuck Boston. That's just a fact. I mean,
I like the Celtics.
I mean, but would you like the Celtics if they weren't good? If the Celtics were a 30-win team, would you be like, man, I enjoy watching the Celtics? You wouldn't.
Nobody would. Listen. When I was younger, right, I liked the Celtics because of the logo. The logo put me on the Larry Bird.
Ah, that fucking leprechaun.
Yeah, exactly. I like the leprechaun. I thought that was the coolest shit in the fucking world.
Hey, look, Larry Bird had retired by the time you came along.
Yeah.
So, but you got to see the KG version and all that. They were really good.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was in high school when the Celtics Big 3 happened. I was like, fuck these guys.
Back on the Celtics. I got to see Shaq on the fucking Celtics.
Same.
I got to watch Robert Parrish and Larry Bird on the Celtics. Like, I actually got to experience. Like, I know I don't look old, but I promise you, I am old as fucking dirt. Like, I got to watch all these legendary teams, and you know, I love Larry Bird.
No, Larry Bird was a legitimate silent killer.
Hey, look, that's fine, but is Larry Bird a top 5 NBA player of all time?
I mean, there's an argument to be made.
Top 10.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say top 10.
I will give him probably 8 or 9 or 10, maybe, but he's not top 5. Larry Bird is not what they made him out to be.
No, but that was the whole thing. Like you have to understand. Now here's the whole thing. Imagine if Larry Bird had the athleticism of LeBron. Are you fucking kidding me? With his percentage,
he helps the Celtics more than Bill Russell did.
What? I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like there's certain attributes, bro. He could shoot with anybody. He could literally do the basic fundamentals better than.
The dude literally played a game left-handed just because he was bored.
Yeah, and again, that's the whole thing. Okay, fundamentals can beat talent.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. Now, is it every fucking time? No, but he also had talent.
Yeah,
and fundamentals. So it was like, yes, he didn't jump the highest. He couldn't run the fastest. But, you know, he also had a lot of back problems. So,
I mean, I'm not trying to compare white to white, but it just jumped out to me when you said that. Dirk Nowitzki is a perfect example of what you said. He wasn't the most talented, but fundamental-wise, he was the best in the league for long.
The fadeaway that he had.
Bro, he did the same fundamentals every single day. Every day he took it every 20 turnaround shots. He has to make all 20 of them, or he starts over from the beginning. He's got an inbound, turn, and jump. Inbound, turn, and jump. Like these were things like with his last couple of years of his career when he was doing those videos and he was letting the camera crews come in and record his training sessions with his coach. And it was like, if you look at the work he put into his craft, hell yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're really willing to dedicate yourself, and that's why I always say, right, in my book, it is Michael Jordan, it is Kobe Bryant, and then it is LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Kobe
Bryant took the fundamentals. He took the skill. He took the talent. He wrapped it all in one. And, I mean, like, again, look at some of those teams he had. And that's why I say he's better than LeBron. Because I can look at a bunch of those Kobe teams that he drugged to the playoffs, just like I can look at a lot of those early teams that LeBron drugged to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, look.
And again,
like,
he did a lot more.
At some point, when Kobe faced off against Jordan, Jordan literally told Kobe, you can wear the shoes, but you're never going to fill them. Kobe took that personally. He did not speak to his fucking teammates for 2 fucking weeks until he played Jordan again. And even then, his teammates were like, hey, what's going on with Kobe? Like, and then it wasn't until Phil said, yeah, Jordan. So Jordan told him you can wear the shoes, but you're never going to fill them. That Kobe took that shit personally.
I mean, he was supposed to. Like, that was personal.
God, it showed. This man, lose a game, Baltimore. Lose a game so the Yankees can overtake first place.
Is he?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Bruh.
God. Like, this
Fifth
is the
inning.
same player.
5th inning, the bats are going to come alive, and you're going to be like, motherfucker.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, this is the same dude that literally tore his Achilles, took both free throws, and then limped off the court with no help whatsoever.
He just came in here and said, "Mommy's so mean," and closed the door. So it means he was doing something he wasn't supposed to and got corrected. So now he's upset. That's what that means. Ain't that right?
Oh no. Oh man. All right. So let's veer away from basketball. Let's get back to football. Next game up for the Cleveland Browns, because obviously we have the Browns winning over the Cowboys. Next game up, they go into Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars.
Hey, look.
They win that game.
They
Yeah.
lose that game.
Hold on. You're going to tell me the Jaguars are going to beat the Browns, right? Put the Dallas Cowboys on.
Correct.
Especially with Myles Garrett leading the defense.
Yeah, that's you. Yes, I am saying that.
That's you.
Okay.
How does Jacksonville walk away with the win? I'm interested.
Where's the game at?
At Jacksonville.
And Trevor Lawrence is back, right? Jacksonville's defense is legit, right?
If they stay healthy, yeah.
I am
gotta
higher on
see
Jacksonville
Trevor
than
Lawrence
Dallas.
I have to see Trevor Lawrence play.
Yeah.
I have, like, he's been in the NFL for what, 3 years, going on 4 years now, and I've only seen one real good season from him. So,
And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was a season where they erased a 27-point deficit against the Chargers in the playoffs.
Well, look, the fact that they just gave him 200+ million means they see something. Like they're just not out there handing out money.
Oh yeah.
I just
everybody is getting paid.
Who's Dallas's running back this year? Ezekiel Elliott is back.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's about the only dude that I know that's in the backfield for Dallas.
No, they had the rookie from last year.
Impressed. I'm impressed.
What was his name?
So Dak Prescott last year, like we can't even think of his name. That's my point. Dak Prescott, they're gonna fucking drop 8. I mean, is anybody afraid of Ezekiel Elliott anymore?
No. I mean, look, even when I really thought when he went to New England that like he was gonna reinvent himself because he was under Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
He went there for the money. Yeah, that was it. He wanted to cash that check.
Oh God! Oh,
Dallas told him that.
Nobody had expectations for the Patriots, and if you had expectations for Ezekiel Elliott, well, then you're about as short as his fucking crop top shirt.
Dallas well, no. Oh my God! There was a Cincinnati running back that went to the Patriots, and Belichick essentially reignited his
Corey Dillon.
Thank you. Oh my God, that was killing me.
I mean, Corey Dillon was always good. The Patriots had a good team, and the Bengals did not. Here's the problem: Dallas. So Ezekiel Elliott demanded an astronomical amount of money for Dallas. And Dallas is like, go play somewhere else. And so then he goes play somewhere else, comes back to Dallas next year. So that super low offer you sent me, is that still stand? Because I'll take it now.
Yeah, you right.
Next game. I'm sorry.
Anyways, next game. So they are back in Cleveland and they welcome the New York Giants.
Yeah, they're beating the Giants.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
honestly, in my opinion, I really think that at some point with the Giants, it's going to be that scene from The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger as the Joker. Where's the Italian? Like, I would really rather see Tommy DeVito under center for the Giants at some point this season because somehow, some way, that kid did something for the Giants. I don't know what it was, but he did something. Anyways, after that, they go into Vegas to take on the Raiders.
They beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a tough game. It's going to be tougher than you think.
I'm not saying it's not going to be a good game. I'm saying Cleveland's the
better. You know what? Nope. I'm wrong. That's right, because Josh is with the Green Bay Packers. So, nope, you're right. So far, for me, 1 loss. I got 1 loss right now.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is definitely going to be a hard-fought win for Cleveland, especially with defense that the Raiders have and the head coach that they also have as well. But that's neither here nor there. But moving on, they go into Washington to take on the Redskins.
What a trash ass team! If Cleveland doesn't beat them by 3 touchdowns, that it's going to
I
be stupid.
swear to God, I'm telling you.
I think that this might be one of those sleeper games.
Ooh, okay. So Jane Daniels shows out.
Yes, and I mean there might be an injury there. Like I just feel like if you lose your first game and then win, and then so you're gonna be riding that high. And bro, Baltimore did it last year. We won the first 2 games we were riding the high. Colts came in and kicked our fucking teeth in. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
It happens, but not with the Commanders.
Not with the Commanders.
So the next week.
Yeah. So the next week they go into Philadelphia to take on the Eagles.
They win that game.
No, that's the game they're going to lose. They're going to go into Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a good team, and they're going to take the L, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look, don't get me
they're
wrong.
Going to lose to the Commanders, but beat the Eagles.
Don't get me wrong. In
I
my
don't know
opinion,
what Chris
this is a make or break season for Philadelphia, but I really think that Cleveland takes the L against Philadelphia.
Okay,
hey, look,
I'm saying this. Okay, you're talking about Cleveland. Okay, you're talking about 2 defenses that are run stuffing defenses. Okay, what does Cleveland do? Cleveland, everything bounces off the run. You stop the run with Cleveland, you make them one-dimensional. Deshaun Watson is not good at that. That means he runs, he makes bad decisions. That's where he throws a lot of his interceptions at. Okay, again, he's a good quarterback in a good system. As long as you know what I mean, like as long the system, Stefanski is good. He is good. Okay. Now, the problem is it's the decision making. It's the same problem with Tua. They are very good. They're electric. They can run. They can move. They can do all of these things. But when it comes down to making a decision, same thing. Josh Allen. Like, these guys are great caliber quarterbacks, but it's the decision making that fucks them over. So, again, for me, like I said, when you're talking about 2 defensive lines back to back, okay, the Eagles defense – and then the Commanders' defensive line. Look at that defensive line. Look at the defensive tackles they have. Okay, the Eagles, they got the Bulldogs. All right, and then you turn over and then you look at the Commanders and who do they have? Fucking oh my god, I just had his name.
Oh boy,
you and Chris are sharing the same drugs now.
No, hold on. I'm not saying the Commanders are a playoff team. I'm not saying they're going to win 8 games. I think that this is a sneaky game for the Browns.
I mean, look. Unless Mark Rippon comes back and starts quarterbacking them, and George Rogers is their running back, I'm not seeing them win that game. I mean, the Commanders are very bad. I guess for me, I see what you're trying to say. It's a trap game, especially you're looking forward to the next week at Philadelphia. I get what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, it's Jonathan Allen.
They're just bad.
Oh, where's the other guy?
They've been bad for so long.
Yes. Eagles are good.
Oh, yeah. Despite the fact that this is a literal make or break season.
Payne and Allen, their defensive tackles. Now they've got a defensive end. They got Deontay Fowler on the other side. Like I said, this defensive line is semi scary. And then, like I said, their offense. Like a lot of people forget about Terry McLaurin. Zach Ertz is there. Right?
They but also Washington had a defensive line with Montez Sweat and Chase Young, and they traded both guys away.
They got Austin Eckler.
I don't know any of
Bobby Wagner.
Austin Eckler ain't what he used to be.
Luke McCaffrey.
I mean, maybe the Redskins squeak out a sneaky win or two, but yeah.
But like I said, I think they're going to be a sneaky team, and I think it's going to be.
I mean, Joe Gibbs ain't coaching them.
I mean, if they have Taylor Heineke under center, then yeah, the Redskins could possibly do something.
What is your love affair with Taylor Heineke? I just got to know.
Look, he's got that dog in him. I'm sorry, all right? And this is the same dude that went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady in the fucking playoffs.
Okay.
No.
Okay, all right, what's after the Eagles?
What's after the Eagles?
Anyways, so after the Eagles, they go back to Cleveland and welcome the Cincinnati Bengals with Joey M&M Burrows under center.
That's the win. They win that game. At home against the Bengals, they win that game.
Oh, God. I just have to see, like I said earlier when we were talking, I have to see what the Bengals are, because the Bengals can be a 6-win team or the Bengals can be a 12-win. I have no idea. They have no Joe Mixon. Joe Burrow's coming off another season-ending injury. If I were a betting man, I'm saying Cleveland wins this game at home.
Yeah, I would too. I would have to see what the Bengals are made of this season, and obviously Jamar Chase is looking for a big contract because he is part of the reason why the Bengals are as good as they have been in the last few years. But anyways, so we're staying in Cleveland and Baltimore comes to town.
Hey, Terry, are we going to have a No Mercy burger? Or I'm just curious. Terry's the one that's on all the shows that makes all these delicious fucking burgers. He puts the ideas in there. But anyway, continue. What was the next team?
So the next team that comes to town, we're staying in Cleveland, is Baltimore.
Oh, they're taking that L.
Oh, yeah.
Baltimore wins that game.
Yes, Baltimore wins that game. We could just move on to the next one. I got Baltimore really high this year.
Oh, yeah. So I think these next 3-4 games coming up, they might be wins for the Browns because they stay in Cleveland as they welcome in the Chargers.
Chargers got a while to go before they're there. So
I mean, they take a progressive step forward next season or this upcoming season. But
he got you. He got you good. Oh.
Cobra Kai. Woohoo!
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, baby.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was perfect. He got you.
Oh man.
All right.
Anyways, so after a 3-game home stint, they go into New Orleans to take on the Saints. Win.
I missed the 2 games after. Where are we at?
So after
Baltimore's the last one I remember.
Yeah, so Baltimore, they take the L. They're still in Cleveland. After that, they're still in Cleveland, and they welcome the Chargers.
Yeah, they beat the Chargers. Yeah, we said that. Okay.
Yep. After a 3-game home stint, they go to New Orleans to take on the Saints.
That's a win.
That's a win. Saints are a bad team.
Yeah. After that, they go back to Cleveland and welcome the Steelers.
That's a win.
Yep. They go to Mile High City and take on the Broncos.
That's a win.
See, this is where I think that sneaky game that you're talking about, that trap game, I think the Broncos will be a trap game. Ooh. I think they line up very well against the Browns, and I think Sean Payton is a good enough coach to make that happen. I love how Max shakes his head at the idea of the Broncos winning a game at home, but the fucking Commanders can beat the Browns. I don't get it, Mac. Like
the team. Who the fuck does the Broncos have on defense? They gave up their best player. They let Justin Simmons walk.
You kidding me? The Commanders. That is the Vanderbilt of the NFL.
No, sir.
Well, you know what? I will personally take the Redskins over the Broncos.
No, No fucking way. Like,
Hell
how much
yeah.
crack are we smoking?
Listen,
Well, I don't know about
smoke?
y'all, but I'm on that blue stuff that I got from a chemistry teacher from New Mexico. So
That's crazy talk. Crazy. The Commanders
that
are
ain't
better
crazy
than the
talk. That's
Broncos.
that blue stuff talking.
The Commanders are better than the excellent. I
okay,
got a
no
topic for
problem, no
Vince
problem,
next
no
week.
problem, no problem.
Keep going.
Here, we'll settle this now. At the end of the year, we can make this bet right now. At the end of the year, I bet you the Commanders will have a better record than the Broncos.
I'll take that bet.
And if I win, right, you've got to wear a Ravens jersey in the playoffs because we know the Falcons ain't going to be there. and
So the Falcons probably will be there. They'll probably win the South, and that's not
I
saying how
don't
great the
know.
Falcons are. That's
I
saying
don't
how
know.
bad the fucking NFC South is. That's just a fact.
I don't know. I mean, Tampa Bay could be a sneaky team as well.
All right. So you know what? I'll fucking take that bet. So let's go over the Commander schedule: Jets, Dolphins, Giants, Bengals, Cardinals, Browns, Ravens, Bears, Steelers, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles, Falcons, and Cowboys. Yeah. I think the Broncos will have about 2 more wins than the Commanders will.
I got the Commanders with at least 6 to 7 wins.
I mean, look, we're gonna get to the Redskins schedule eventually.
All right. Let's
Yeah. So
after the Broncos.
yeah. So after the Broncos, they go into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers again.
They lose that game.
Ooh,
That's
so
the game that they
So
lose.
the Browns
think
don't
they're
get
gonna-
the season sweep over the Steelers.
I think that I agree. I think they'll split that series. I think they'll take the L. I think they'll beat Pittsburgh and Cleveland and lose in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Pittsburgh is a pretty tough place to play. Yeah, no. Anyways, after that, they go back home to Cleveland and welcome the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs.
They lose that game.
Yeah, they lose that game.
Yeah. After the Chiefs, they go into Cincinnati to take on the Bengals.
They win that game.
Yep. After that,
it just depends, but they should win.
yeah.
I mean, to me, I feel like they're going to sweep the Bengals this year, and I think that's what puts them over the Bengals.
So Terry is a Buccaneers fan and hates Atlanta. I mean, I would hate us too if we took work done from you. I get it. I understand the hate.
Oh yeah. Anyways, after that, after a god awful 2-3 hour trip from Cincinnati, they go back to Cleveland and welcome the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, I'll say everybody's healthy on the Dolphins, they lose. But
Yeah.
if the Dolphins are missing anybody like Tyreek Hill or Tua, they win that game.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's down, man, the Dolphins are so Jekyll and Hyde sometimes. They really are. That's
yeah.
hard.
Yeah, and this is why I really have Tua Tagovailoa as like one of the dudes that is going into this season with so much pressure on his shoulders.
All right, what's the next game?
Last game of the season, the Cleveland goes into Baltimore to take on the Ravens.
You ready for this? They win that game.
They're not
What?
They're not going to Baltimore winning the game. I have Baltimore really high, and I think Baltimore is better than Cleveland top to bottom in every aspect, even at quarterback.
Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson doesn't play in that game.
Well, it is the last week. He probably won't. Derrick Henry probably won't because they probably got the playoffs locked up.
And they probably got the
And
best record in the AFC North,
Bro,
too.
John Harbaugh has done it every fucking year that we're in playoff contention. He sits the starters. That's what he does. That is
He's
the kind
really
of coach he is. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not completely against it, but again, that I know what my coach does. I've had him for what fucking 20 years now, you know. So unfortunately, he's still here, but that goes without saying. If we're sitting at 11, 12, 13 wins and we're winning the division,
I agree.
Yeah,
the Browns should have no reason to lose that game.
that's true.
Now, if it comes down to that game to win the division, Ravens are fucking Ravens are gonna win at home.
Yep.
But Ravens we usually split. We'll either split with Cincinnati or we'll split with fucking the Browns every year. One of those two we're always gonna split with.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Steelers, we usually either we beat them twice or they beat us twice, and then we beat them twice and then they beat us twice, and every once in a while we'll split.
Yes, he's back to it. I just I don't know, man. Like the Commanders, you said they might win 6 games. Hey, even if they do, the Broncos are winning 9. I'm confused. So I'll take your bet.
How?
I don't really know. Like you said that I would wear a Ravens jersey, but what are you gonna do when the Broncos have a better record than the Commanders? I mean, because the Broncos are a decent team. Like I don't understand this Broncos are shitty team. They've got a good team, and the Commanders.
I think it more so has to do with the fact that they got Bo Nix instead of Jaden Daniel. Like, yeah, winning the Heisman is something, but let's see what you can produce on the field.
I'm just trying to figure out who's going to be worse between the Giants and the Commanders. And the Broncos are better than both of those teams. I'm just confused by the statement. And all this drew up because I said, ain't no way that the Commanders are beating the Browns. And
they're losing at least 12 games. They're losing at least 12 games, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Like the Chiefs, Bengals, like Colts, Browns, Raiders, Falcons, Chiefs again, Ravens. Then you got again the Raiders and the Chargers. You got the Jets, the Bengals. I mean the Buccaneers, the Steelers, the Seahawks. You really see the 7 wins here.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, they might beat the Raiders and the Chargers twice. And like they might get 6. They might
beat the Raiders?
Yes.
Because outside of I mean, like they're not beating the Chiefs either time.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
They're not beating the Browns. They're not going to beat the Falcons.
So
they're not beating the Ravens.
I disagree because once again they played the Chiefs at the last game of the year, and ain't no way Patrick Mahomes is playing that game either. Ain't no way Kelsey's playing. It's the same thing with Baltimore.
Well, that's why I said like if under the right circumstances, yes, they like I'll agree with you. That's why I said they can get 6 wins here. They can get 6.
So they're beating the Colts.
It's not likely.
They're beating the Colts. They're beating the Packers. They're beating the Cardinals. They're beating the Seahawks. They're starting the season 4-0. They're starting 4-0. And then they'll lose to the Steelers. And then they're going to beat the Bucks. Now they've got 5 wins. And then they're going to lose to the Jets, let's say 5-2. Then they're going to beat the Raiders.
You were at preseason. You started at preseason.
Oh,
that's why I was confused.
Let's go regular season. All right, so they're going to beat
Seahawks. Because I'm looking at Seahawks and I'm like, what the fuck?
All right.
Scrolling down, like, I don't see Packers.
Let's go. All right, so they're going to beat the Seahawks, lose to the Steelers. They're going to beat the Bucks. They're going to beat the Jets. They're going to beat the Raiders. They're going to beat the Chargers. They're going to beat the Saints. Hold on. They're going to beat the Chargers. They're going to beat the Saints. They're going to beat the Panthers. They're going to lose to the Ravens and Chiefs. They're going to beat the Falcons. They're going to beat the Raiders. There's a lot of fucking wins. This is not a very tough schedule. It's really
for the Broncos.
Yeah, this is not a tough schedule, dude. They got
hell no. They don't get a win over the Raiders.
Yes, the fuck they do. The Raiders
No, the fuck they don't.
Look, I know y'all got vapes. I don't know what y'all got in them, but the Raiders are not better than the Broncos. Like, this is crazy.
Okay,
y'all.
A, I don't vape. B through Z, Antonio Pierce was winning games with Aiden who? Fucking O'Connell under center.
The Broncos.
I'm just trying to understand. So it's like you're telling me this rookie quarterback with this
Bo Nix out of
offense
fucking Oregon
that Sean Payton has fucking done, like, and you're gonna tell me it's gonna be half a turnaround from what we saw with Russell Wilson last year? I'm sorry, I'm not with no rookie, not with no damn rookie. Are you sitting like?
Plus, I don't see the. You said Tampa Bay was on that schedule as well.
Yeah. So first of all, I mean, Bo Nix is like 212. So like, let's not pretend he's a 23-year-old coming out there play. Look, man, the Denver Broncos. Like, I know y'all are looking at me crazy, but the Denver Broncos are a good team. They're going to win 9 games. I'm going to go after this, and like I keep up with the NFL, right? Yeah, he says they're not beating Tampa because he's a Tampa Bay fan. But I'm interested to see what
No, because it mostly has to do with Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans.
I'm telling you, the Broncos are going to get more wins than the Commanders. I'm just confused. I'm confused because Mac knows the NFL. I listen to him every week. I do, and like I pay, and I'm looking, and then he makes a statement to where the Commanders are going to win more games. The Broncos are going to be second in the West. Let's not perpetrate what's going on out there in the West. The Broncos have gotten that good. Look, I cannot wait for football because I am going to show y'all. Like, the Broncos are a good team. The Commanders are not. That's just the way it is. Are the Broncos going to the playoffs? Probably not. Are they going to win more games than the Commanders? Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
I love this. I love this. So, like, I'm not worried about having to wear a Ravens jersey because the fucking Commanders ain't winning more games than the Broncos. I'm not even sweating.
The Broncos are the second most bet on team to have the worst schedule this year. Like, the Commanders are plus 1,200. Denver Broncos plus 650.
I mean, that's fantastic. All right. So let's look at predictions. The very first page here. I don't know who it is. Sports Zone. They have the Broncos at 9-8, second place in the West. Let's go to the next one. Let's see.
So the under over is 5.5 for regular season wins. It's 5.5 is the.
Either I'm too drunk or somebody who wrote that article that really thinks Denver is getting 9 wins.
I think Denver's
is
on 9 wins.
Fucking something.
So what is the over under for the Commanders? Because the Broncos don't have a tough schedule. I mean, the Broncos went 8-9 last year and got better. Like that's what I'm trying to perpetrate.
Yeah, up until the winning streak that they went on. They were like what, 1-5, 1-6?
So it does not,
almost halfway through the season,
but it doesn't matter. Like, the fact is they won.
Vegas has the Commanders winning one more game than the Broncos.
And that's not going to happen, so I love it. The Commanders are a very bad team. It's just where I'm going to die on that hill. Like, I'm so confident. I would put the Commanders almost up against anybody but the Titans. Because I'm just saying, as far as winning games. I mean, the Commanders' schedule, I didn't even look at it. I looked at the Broncos' schedule is pretty easy, dude. Like, for real. Like, it is.
No, we're gonna get to Washington's schedule in a bit, in a few weeks, I should say.
Okay, good.
So again, going through Cleveland's schedule, I'm looking at least 6 losses.
Yeah, I could see that.
Now I'm leaning more towards 7, but it's guaranteed 6 losses off that schedule.
At best, probably 5 losses.
Huh?
At best, probably 5 losses.
I mean, yeah, again, it's a team you can make an argument with because depending on what team shows up, they can compete with everybody.
I mean, we'll see what happens with Cleveland. The same way that we'll see what happens with both Denver and Washington going into this season. But that is the final team of the AFC North. Now it is time to move on to the AFC East. And we are starting with Miami, baby. So we are going to start with the Miami Hurricanes first before we move on to the Miami Dolphins. So first game up for the Miami Hurricanes, they go into Gainesville to take on the Gators.
Hold on, I'm pulling it. They're going to beat Florida. Florida's trash.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like we agreed in the group chat. Yeah, it's Florida will be lucky to even see 3 or 4 wins this year. So after that, they go back to Miami and welcome Florida A&M.
Next.
Yep. After that, they welcome Ball State.
Next.
Yep. After that, they go to the
South Florida.
They go to South Florida to take on the Bills.
Not the South Florida. Yeah, the Bulls. Not the South Florida of 10 years ago. That's a win for Miami.
Yeah, it's like I think South Florida is in like the Tampa Bay area or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. After that, they go back to Miami to welcome Virginia Tech.
So I'm glad this. I wish Chris was here because if you listen to Chris, Virginia Tech's going undefeated, win the national championship. But the reality is Virginia Tech ain't that team. Virginia Tech's not beating Miami. Yeah, he's got Virginia Tech going undefeated, winning the ACC. By the way,
wow, I thought I was high.
I don't know if he's got him going undefeated, but he does have him winning the ACC, which Miami is going to beat Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Anyways, so there is shout out to College Football Dogs because a lot of articles do get published. One of them was a lot of teams on the West Coast and how they were going to produce in the ACC. One of those teams being California. This is going to be a bitch and a half of a travel if I've seen one because Miami, they're in the lowest point of Florida and they go to the northernmost point of California to take on the Golden Bears.
I think if California put together their last 3 seasons wins, they still wouldn't be bowl eligible. That's how bad California is. They're not beating Miami.
All right. So after California, they go into Louisville to take on they go to take on Louisville.
The problem here for Miami, here is Miami really, really, really has a soft defense, right? But Louisville is one of those teams that controls the clock. They did that a lot last year. They have the same coach. They're going to continue that trend, which will limit the number of touches that Miami gets to score. And it's in Louisville. Miami has a history of losing stupid games, and they're going to lose this one.
Yeah. All right. So right now, that is their first loss of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Okay. After that, they go back to Miami and welcome arguably one of the best rivalries in college football as Florida State comes to town.
I make no bones about Florida State being a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
They lost a lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
But with that being said, it's a mental thing. Florida State owns Miami, and I don't know why, but they do. Miami is going to win all these other games because the schedule is terrible. Like we're looking like, oh man, they're going to be 6 this because they don't fucking play nobody. I think they lose to Florida State. And let's be honest, nobody goes to. It's not a home field advantage in Miami. Like they're averaging like 5,000 fans a game. It's that bad.
Yeah.
So that stadium will be filled, but with Florida State fans.
Oh yeah, it's not even close. But so after the loss to Florida State, they still stay in Miami and welcome Duke, who has surprisingly actually been good at football for the last 1 or 2 years.
So they've been good quite a bit because of David Cutcliffe, and then he moved on. But their coach is gone now. God, man, I got Miami winning this game, but not by a lot.
Yeah, so it's a hard-fought victory for Miami.
Correct.
Okay. After that, they go into Georgia Tech to take on the Yellow Jackets.
Right. And this is, even though that doesn't compare like we did in Notre Dame, because he's like, Georgia Tech's got this great, and they do, but Georgia Tech's not going to Notre Dame and winning.
No.
But Miami's not going into Georgia Tech and winning either. Miami's going to lose another one.
Okay. So 3rd loss on the season. Understandable. After that, they go back to Miami and welcome Wake Forest.
Wake Forest is, gosh, they're bad, man. Miami wins this game.
Honestly, in my opinion, they're like 50-50. But yeah, I could really see Miami walking away with this win.
They finished the season with 6 straight losses last year. Wake Forest, they're bad.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. And to close out the season for the Hurricanes, they go into Syracuse and take on the Syracuse Orangemen.
So when Syracuse lost 45-0 to South Florida last year, I'm like, Syracuse is a bad football team, right? But then they almost beat Georgia Tech. They lost 5 turnovers in the loss to Boston College and somehow turn around and beat Pitt. Which we think that Syracuse is a lot better than they're letting on. I'm going to give Miami the L here.
Ooh, okay. So 8-4, I believe.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. I could honestly see 9-3 in my opinion. That's just me, but we're gonna still stay in the 305 area and talk about the Miami Dolphins. This is where Tua really needs to step up this season. So, the Dolphins are at home as they welcome Jacksonville, essentially in a battle of Florida.
Miami.
I can see Miami.
Like, I just like until Trevor Lawrence comes back and plays, and I see him playing up to that level again, then you know what I mean. Like, I can have a different opinion, but from what I can see right now, I don't know.
It's in Miami too.
I
don't know. Miami's going to be the favorite in this game, and they probably should. I say Miami wins this game, but it'll be a good one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. After that, they welcome Buffalo.
Miami will also be favored in this game. Buffalo lost quite a bit as well. Still a good team. I
mean, as long as they have Josh Allen under center, but at the same time, it's like, dude can only do so much.
Give me the Dolphins.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'll take that bet as well. After their little home stint for the first 2 games, they go all the way to Seattle to take on the Seahawks.
I mean, that's a win.
I don't know. I really think that Seattle could be a sneaky team this year. Maybe
going to be a good team this year. Okay,
say what?
They're going to be a great team this year. Okay, you got Smith whatever Smith. I don't know the first part of his name. And then you got DK Metcalf. You got Walker. You got the rookie running back from last year. Like they have an offense.
Yeah,
They have weapons. They've got that one tight end. What the fuck is his name?
Oh shit! I think I know who you're talking about. Fuck. Oh man. But I will say this: I think it's one of those sneaky wins that Seattle will actually get over Miami.
Just Seattle's good and Denver's not. Okay.
Don't worry, we're gonna get to Seattle.
I think Miami wins this game. I just do.
Fair enough. Next game after that, they go back to Miami and welcome the Tennessee Titans.
Like, bruh, no. Titans are getting slaughtered.
Yeah, especially with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Yeah, it's not even close. After that, they go into New England to take on the Patriots.
I mean, Patriots are pretty bad right now.
Yeah, especially after last season. So, that will be a win for the Dolphins. Next game up, they go into Indianapolis to take on the Colts.
They should beat the Colts. Could be a trap game, but they should.
It could be a trap game. I mean, it will be one of those games where we see where Anthony Richardson can, like, what he can possibly do. But, yeah, ultimately, I'm going to take Miami on this one as well. Because it'll be Richardson's first full season healthy, assuming that he doesn't get his shit rocked and goes out for the rest of the season again.
I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Their schedule's as soft as a baby's ass, but let's continue on.
Yep. So they go back to Miami and welcome the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
They go into Buffalo to take on the Bills.
They'll lose on the road to the Bills.
Yeah. After that, they go to LA to take on the Rams.
You don't know what the Rams got. That's one of those iffy games. Dolphins are a better team than the Rams. I'll tell you that.
Like, in my opinion, they do have the better quarterback, being Matthew Stafford, but dude can only do so much.
Right. I mean,
and it showed in Detroit too. But you got Miami winning?
Yes.
Okay. After that, they go back home to the 305 and welcome the Raiders.
Soft as a baby's ass. I'm telling you.
We shall see. We shall see. They stay in Miami and welcome the Patriots. That's an obvious win.
Soft as a baby's ass. Like, I wish we had a schedule.
Yeah. This travel will be a bitch and a half as they go to Green Bay to take on the Packers in late November, mind you. So
Jordan Love, if we're talking about overrated quarterbacks in the NFL, he's right up there at the top of the list for me. I'm not impressed with the Packers, nor do I think they're going to make any noise this year.
I mean, look, I see it like this. It's late November. It's in Green Bay. I'm taking the Packers. Because, I mean, it mostly has to do with the fact that it's like, bro, Tua, you were born and raised in Hawaii. You went to Alabama where, like, even if an inch of snow falls on the ground, the entire state is on fucking lockdown. You're going into Green Bay after Thanksgiving to take on the Packers. And Green Bay thrives in cold weather.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, again, I think the Packers are going to be really good this year. I'm like, you got Love, and now you're handing it off to Josh Jacobs. Yeah, this ain't no fucking 20-pound overweight fucking Aaron Jones. Okay, this is Josh Jacobs. Okay, this dude is gonna run hard, and I got a good feeling about Green Bay this year. I think they're going to make the playoffs.
We shall see. Anyway, so after the game against Green Bay, they go back to Miami and welcome the New York Jets, where Aaron Rodgers really has a lot to prove this season, assuming that he stays healthy.
Thank you. It's that cheese, man. It's the cheese.
Yeah. I mean, I just I don't know what I don't know what the Jets are going to be. I don't think they're going to be better than the Dolphins, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll agree with that. So the Jets take a loss to Miami.
Yes.
Okay. After that, they go into Houston and take on the Texans.
It's another one.
That's an L.
And the hits keep coming.
They're going to lose that game.
Yes. Houston is really going to be a sneaky fucking team this year.
I don't think they even got a sneak. They're good and they know it.
Yeah, that's true. So these next two games are definite L's as they go back to Miami and welcome the 49ers.
Yep, they're not beating the 49ers.
Especially with Nick Bosa leading the way and the fucking offense that they have. After that, they go into Cleveland and take on the Browns.
And Cleveland will be fighting for a playoff spot, too, in that tough division, jangling. Yeah, no, they're not beating the Browns.
Yep. And to close things out, on January 5th, they go into East Rutherford, New Jersey, a.k.a. the Meadowlands, and take on the Jets.
That'll be a loss because I think they'll already be in the playoffs like we discussed earlier, and I don't think you'll see anybody good playing in that game. And the Jets will still be playing for hoping to get 7 wins. I think the Jets win that game just because you're not going to see a Tua out there, Tyreek, and all that with the playoff spot locked up.
Very true. Very true. So
the back part of that schedule was pretty daunting. It was pretty soft up until that last games.
Yeah, I completely agree. We got 2 more schedule predictions to make before we take our final commercial break and make 2 more schedule predictions for both the NFL and NCAA football before we close it out with Name That MLB Player. So to start things off, we are starting things with the University of Buffalo. I believe that's an actual team. Anyways, they welcome Lafayette.
These are so fucking hard. These Sun Belt American athletic teams.
Yeah. Like, trust me when I say I was like, fuck, what New York team do I go with when it comes to the Buffalo Bills?
I think Buffalo's probably better than Louisiana Lafayette.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with that.
But I don't know how much better.
Yeah, no, understandable. After Lafayette, I think that they get the win over Lafayette, and then after that, they go into Missouri to take on the Tigers.
I mean, they're not beating Missouri.
Yeah. So, yeah, 1-1. After that, they go back to Buffalo and welcome UMass.
So UMass has been really bad, like New Mexico State. Buffalo was really bad last year. I just don't know, man. Like, these are bad teams. Buffalo's at home. Give me Buffalo.
Yeah, I'll take Buffalo as well. So they do go on a 2-game road trip to take on Northern Illinois and UConn, of which I think will be 2 wins for Buffalo.
No way that they
really
no way they beat UConn.
Not so fast.
Yeah, this is a not so fast moment, man. So Northern Illinois got really, really good last year.
Ooh, okay.
Buffalo can't beat them, and UConn has recommitted to. I think they lose both of those games.
Okay, I like that. Love it. For real. So, anyways, after the 2 losses to Northern Illinois and UConn, they go back to Buffalo and they welcome Toledo and Western Michigan.
I mean, Toledo's a team that went to a bowl game last year and won their final 3 games. They're losing to Toledo.
Yep. Would you say that they lose to Western Michigan or get the win? Okay, fair enough. After that, they go into Ohio to take on the Wildcats.
The Bobcats.
Bobcats, thank you.
But yeah, so I think Ohio won like 7 out of their last 8 games last year. Like,
yeah, what they had, they had a winning season last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they had a they're not beating Ohio.
Okay. After that, they go into Akron.
So Akron won a game last year. No, we can give Buffalo this one if you want. Because I mean they're both pretty bad, but Akron I think is a little worse.
Yeah, fair enough. After that, they go back to Buffalo and welcome Ball State.
So Ball State, I'm trying to remember last year. I think Ball State ended the season winning 5 of 8, I believe. So I think Ball State wins that game.
All right, fair enough. Then they go into Eastern Michigan.
So last year, Eastern Michigan went into Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken, and beat the absolute dog hell out of Buffalo. So now it's in Eastern Michigan. I think Eastern Michigan wins that game.
All right, fair enough. And then to close things out, they welcome Kent State.
So Kent State, there's no National Guard there to protect them. If you know, you know.
Yep.
Lou Holtz doesn't coach at Kent State anymore. Kent State lost every game they played last year, if I'm not mistaken. 0-12, 1-11. So we'll give Buffalo that win.
Fair enough.
Hey, Mac, if you talking, you on mute, brother.
I'm sorry, I'm putting in my dinner order.
Oh, okay. How was I?
They left the house and they went out to get something to eat. And I was like, oh shit, I see that the location is moving. So I'm like, shit, stop and give me something to eat on your way home.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Oh shit. All right. So we are still staying in the Buffalo area and we are going to talk about the NFL Buffalo Bills, baby. So first game of the season, they are in Buffalo as they welcome the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes. So we'll go through this quick because we're 30 minutes over our time. And that's mostly because of me trailing us off to other places. I get that. They're beating the Cardinals.
Yeah. After that, they go into Miami, take on the Dolphins.
I just said they were going to lose that game, and I'm going to stick with it.
Fair enough. After that, they go back to Buffalo and welcome Jacksonville.
That's one of those what's Jacksonville going to be type of games, but as of right now, I'm going to go with the Bills.
All right.
But I'll go with the Bills until Trevor Lawrence shows me different.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Go ahead.
No, the next game's a big L. I was just foreshadowing.
Yeah, I was going to say. So after that, they got a 3-game road trip against the Ravens, Texans, and the Jets.
They go 1-3 or 1-2 in that 3-game stretch.
Ooh, okay. Who's their win?
Loss win.
Yeah, they're going to lose to the Ravens, Texans, and beat the Jets.
Fair enough. They go back to Buffalo and welcome the Titans.
And they going to pull out their frustrations on them motherfuckers.
That is fair. That is fair. So after just releasing that kind of anger and aggression after that 3-game road trip, they go into Seattle to take on the Seahawks.
They'll beat the Seahawks. I'm not as high on Seahawks as you were when you were talking about them earlier, and they're certainly not good enough to beat the Bills.
I mean, I'm up there, but
I think it's going to be.
Let's see what they can do.
Hey, the Seahawks will beat the Commanders, though.
The Seahawks.
We'll get to the NFC. Don't worry. We'll get to the NFC. Don't worry. After that, they go back to Buffalo and welcome Miami.
They'll win that game, split that season series, I think.
Yeah. After Miami, they go into Indianapolis to take on the Colts.
They'll beat the Colts.
Yep. Shit. This 4-game stretch is a gauntlet.
Yes. I think they go 1-3 in that 4-game stretch. Like, this is a fucking rough schedule.
Yeah, so they lose to the Chiefs. They definitely lose to the Niners.
Yes.
They might get the win over LA. We'll see what happens.
They'll beat the Rams.
But as long as Dan Campbell is the head coach of the Lions, they ain't getting the win anytime soon.
No, I think the Lions are a very good team. And that's the reason the Packers won't sniff the playoffs. But yeah.
After that, they go into New England and take on the Patriots. They go back to Buffalo to take on the Patriots. But yeah, it doesn't matter because Buffalo's getting the win anyways. After that, the Jets come to town.
Yeah.
So
they beat the Jets.
Yeah. After that, they go back to New England and take on the Patriots.
I mean, even if Josh Allen isn't playing, they still beat the Patriots.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so we got 2 more, both NFL and NCAA schedule predictions that we got to make. We are going to take our final commercial break, and we will be back in just a bit. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss it.
Boy, that's mediocre.
Then what the f are you doing?
I was drinking that.
No, you were surviving it. Give excitement a try with Bones Coffee. Click on the link below to order some for yourself.
Here.
Whoa is right. That substance you were sipping before is what we in the industry refer to as ass water. Sure, it technically has caffeine, but at Bones Coffee, we believe in the experience of waking up every morning looking forward to that first tasty cup. That's why we roast carefully selected beans in small batches to perfection, so you can count on quality in every cup. And not only that, Bones has a ton of fabulous flavors from which to choose.
Hey, did someone mention flavors? Highland Greg, pleasure to meet you.
What'll it be, Greg?
You know, I've been hankering for the spiced rum flavor of Highland Grove, please.
Greg, I'm surprised by the size of your bagpipe.
Ugh, it's not the size of the bagpipe that matters, laddie.
Yeah, it's how hard you blow it. Yeah, let's leave the talking to me.
Oh, gee, I just got back from chasing some hosers out of the grilling rink. I could go for some maple bacon coffee right about now.
Coming right up.
Hey kid, you single?
Yeah.
That's why this place looks like
Here you are, my salty siren.
Thanks. I need the salted caramel chocolate pick-me-up after dealing with this loser.
How in the world are all these people getting in here?
We just walked in. Click on the link below to stop drinking water and get yourself Bones Coffee today. Or maybe you don't want to click on the link below because you think, flavored coffee's not for me. That was Sarah G's experience. She says, usually flavored coffees taste chemically to me, but these do not. They have a really pleasant aroma and flavor, They do not leave that weird residue on the bottom of your mug like many flavored coffees do. And Cheryl S. says, I ordered this for my son's GF for a B-Day. She loves it. Why, Cheryl, that's awfully nice of you. Unfortunately, they broke up and I can't return it. Frowny face. Well, that's awkward. At least she liked it, though. Stop settling for mediocrity and order Bones Coffee today.
Yes, I gotta get into Bones Coffee and see what the hype is all about. But like I said, we got 2 more NFL teams and we got 2 more NCAA football team schedule predictions that we got to make. Now, with the Jets and Giants playing in New Jersey, there's only so many teams that you can choose from. But with the Jets, I guess because the hype is so high with them and Aaron Rodgers being the quarterback for them, the only team I could really think of that they were like, oh, you know, Dr. Evil type shit was Princeton, because they're just that kind of
I mean, you could have went with Rutgers.
That is actually for the Giants, believe it or not.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Look, don't get me wrong. I got respect for Rutgers, but I see them like the Giants. They are just tough and resilient.
Thank you, Terry. We appreciate it.
Anyways, but yeah, so we are
But
gonna yeah. So Princeton goes into Lehigh.
Let's do this.
Yeah. So first game, Princeton goes into Lehigh.
Princeton wins that game.
All right.
Like I see the confusion on y'all's faces. These small schools are hard, but I actually know the Ivy League pretty well, so I can actually walk us through this.
Basketball, I kind of got to know them, but football, no clue.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got you.
I mean, look, I know a thing about Princeton. I know a thing or two about Princeton, but it mostly has to do with their lacrosse program. But as far as football goes, nothing.
Yeah,
like you would see a tumbleweed roll through my head if you brought up Princeton football. After that, yeah. So after that, they go back to New Jersey and welcome Howard.
Hey, look, Howard is a great HBCU program, right? But the problem with that is Princeton is a little better than Howard right now. So, and it's going to be in Princeton. I think Princeton takes that win.
All right. So they're 2-0 right now. They go on a 2-game road streak and take on Columbia and Mercer.
So Columbia is a very bad team. I think they won 2 games last year. They'll win that. Mercer is a very good team. Princeton is going to get beat down by Mercer. Mercer is in the Southern Conference and took Furman, who was a field goal away from going to the finals last year, to the wire. Mercer will beat Princeton like a redheaded stepchild.
Jesus. Okay, so they are currently 3-1. After that, they go back to New Jersey and welcome the University of Brown.
Yeah, so yeah, Brown needed overtime to beat that shitty Columbia team we talked about last year. Princeton is winning that game.
Okay, fair enough. After that, they go into Boston to take on the University of Harvard.
So Harvard is a very, very good team. They won the Ivy League last year with an 8-2 record. Harvard will beat Princeton. Harvard is good.
Okay, wow. I knew they were good at lacrosse, but damn.
Yeah, they're really, really good. Like Harvard wins the Ivy League football championship like every other year. I mean, they're good.
Well, damn. Anyways, so after the loss against Harvard, they go back to New Jersey and welcome Cornell and Dartmouth.
Lamar Jackson, number 2, top 100 players.
Oof, no surprise.
They should be. However, they'll beat Cornell, who is a
Mhm.
very, very, very bad team.
Yeah.
But Dartmouth was number 2, and they are a very, very good team. So they will lose to Dartmouth.
Yeah. I mean, look, so some of these teams that I'm seeing on the schedule for Princeton, I only know their lacrosse program, and that's about it. And just like how good they are. I know Cornell has a great program for lacrosse. Dartmouth, it wouldn't surprise me when Princeton gets the win over them. After that, though, they go into Yale.
Yes. So they're not beating Yale. Yale's a really good team. They will be Harvard's number 1 competition for the conference this year.
That is interesting. And to close yeah. And then to close out Princeton's schedule, they go back to New Jersey and welcome the University of Pennsylvania.
So they're, University of Pennsylvania is a very good football team. They will lose to Pennsylvania.
Okay. Fair enough. Jesus. All right. Now, speaking of New Jersey teams, even though they have New York as their first 2 names or words. Anyways, let's talk about the New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers coming into the season fully healthy. First game of the season, they are in San Francisco taking on the 49ers.
I mean, that's a loss.
The easy loss. This is definitely next few games are definitely some wins. After their loss against the 49ers, they go into Tennessee and take on the Titans.
They'll beat the Titans.
Yep.
They'll beat the Patriots.
Yep.
And then they're taking an L.
Really? To the Broncos?
Like, were you not listening to my long dissertation earlier?
That's 2 losses. It's 2 losses so far for them.
So they're losing to the Broncos.
All right. Fair enough. After that, they still stay in East Rutherford and welcome Minnesota.
So that game's in London, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep, it's in London because the game starts at 7:30. Well, I think 7:30 my time.
Yeah. So the Vikings are a horrible goddamn football team. Jets are better than the Vikings. Jets will beat the Vikings.
Yeah. After that, they go back to New Jersey and welcome Buffalo.
L.
Yeah. They go into Pittsburgh and take on the Steelers.
L.
They go into New England, take on the Patriots.
That's a win.
Yep. They go back to New Jersey and take on the Texans.
L.
They go into Arizona and take on the Cardinals.
That's a win.
Yep. They have a 2-game home stint against Indianapolis and Seattle.
That's a win and a win.
Yep.
But
they go in. Yeah. After that, they go into Miami and take on the Dolphins.
L.
Yep. After that, they don't go to travel far as their next game is Jacksonville.
L.
Yep. After that, they go back to Jersey to welcome the Rams.
That's a coin flip, man. I think the Jets can win that game.
I was going to say, it could be a sneaky win for the Jets.
Coin flip.
Yep, absolutely. After the Rams, they go into Buffalo and take on the Bills.
L.
Yep. And then after that, they welcome Miami in their last game of the season.
Just depends on if Miami's locked it up or not. So
9 losses.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep. No, I could see that, especially like
I think
this is exactly why I have Aaron Rodgers as one of the guys that has some serious pressure on his shoulders. Like, yeah, dude, you're coming off an Achilles injury that ended your season.
They're going to be 8-9 or 9-8. That's probably what it's going to be.
They will be close to a 500 record either way. I agree with that.
Yep. completely agree as well. All right, so final college football team prediction. The University of Massachusetts Minutemen.
I bunch of losses.
Yeah. So first game up, they are in Massachusetts and welcoming Eastern Michigan.
They'll lose that game.
Yeah. After that, they go into Toledo.
They're going to lose that game.
After that, they go into Buffalo to take on the Bulls.
Coin flip. We gave that to Buffalo a minute ago, so
yeah, that's
Buffalo.
So then after that, they go back to Massachusetts. I want to say it looks like Central Connecticut.
Is it Central Connecticut is an FCS school?
Yep.
So
Central Connecticut Blue Devils.
Yeah, I think they'll beat Central Connecticut.
Then they go into Ohio to take on Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, Miami of Ohio is going to rock their world, man. Miami's a good team.
Yep, completely agree. After that, they go into DeKalb, Illinois to take on the Huskies.
Northern Illinois?
Mm-hmm.
They're getting beat down.
Yes, sir. Anyways, after that, they go back to Massachusetts and welcome both Missouri and Wagner.
They're going to hold on. Missouri's going to Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mizzou Tigers are going to Massachusetts.
That's what I'm seeing on the schedule right now.
Well, I mean, Missouri's going to beat the ever-loved dog shit out of them.
Yeah, Missouri is going to beat them down like the red-headed stepchild that they are.
So I mean, is this team? It's going to be like 1 win and 10 losses, or
Something
what
like
is
that?
it?
Yeah,
12 losses.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because after the game against Wagner, they go into Mississippi State.
Mississippi State's a very, very bad football team, but
It still doesn't take away from the fact that they are in the SEC.
Yeah, Massachusetts ain't beating Mississippi State.
Hell no. Then they go back to Massachusetts and welcome University of Liberty.
God damn, they're going to get the fucking hell beat. Liberty may be the group of 5 person in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree as well. Oh, God. This is the easiest prediction of if I've ever seen. They go into fucking Georgia.
Like what the fuck is their athletic director thinking? Like what the fuck?
What the fuck did UMass do to deserve to go into Georgia?
Georgia, Liberty, Mississippi State, Missouri, Northern Illinois. I'm confused, like who they thought they were.
And then to close it out, they welcome UConn back in Massachusetts.
UConn's gonna beat them.
Yep. All right. Well, that was a fun time predicting that schedule. But let's talk about a real Massachusetts team, the New England Patriots.
Once again, we're going to talk about a bunch of losses like this.
Yeah, I was going to say, this should definitely be a fun schedule to predict. But to get things started, they go into Cincinnati to take on the Bengals.
That's an L.
They go back to New England and welcome the Seattle Seahawks.
That's a loss. That is a loss.
I could see a coin flip.
I'm going to say Seattle's probably going to be favored in that game on the road. New England's that bad. That's a loss.
All right, fair enough. After that, they go into Jersey and take on the New York Jets.
That's a loss.
Yep. Automatic L as they go into San Francisco and take on the 49ers.
Loss.
They have a 4-game homestint against Miami.
Loss.
Houston.
Loss.
Jacksonville.
Loss.
And the Jets.
That's a loss.
And then they go on the road for 2 games against Tennessee.
That's a coin flip.
That's a coin flip. We may give them their first win there.
All right, fair enough. Next game up after that is Chicago.
That's a loss.
Yep. They go back to New England and play the Rams.
That's a loss.
They're not good enough to beat the Rams.
No, definitely not.
Fuck no. With Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and fucking Stafford, get the fuck out of here. And I'm not even counting the tight end.
Right.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Completely
and then
agree.
Williams running the ball? Fuck, come on.
Oh, man. So after the Rams, they go into Miami, take on the Dolphins.
Loss.
They go back to New England, take on the Colts.
They got a shot.
They do have a shot.
I'll give them their second win.
No, I think Richardson, by that time, Richardson should be a little more geared in. I don't. I have them losing to the Colts.
Ooh, okay. Fair enough. After the Colts, they go on a 2-game road trip taking on Arizona.
They can win that game.
They could. Assuming that Kyler Murray is more.
I was going to say no Call of Duty comes out.
I was just about to say.
Larry Fitzgerald ain't there anymore.
Anyway. Anyways, after that, they go into Buffalo to take on the Bills.
That's a loss.
Yep, and then they, for their final 2 games, they are at home and welcome the Chargers.
That's a loss. I will
I
put
can
my
see
money
it.
on Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack and Asante Samuels. I will go ahead. I will take that defense over what the Patriots have on offense any day. That's a loss.
That's one of their better opportunities to get a win.
Jim Harbaugh is now the coach for the Chargers.
I'm not arguing. I'm saying that's one of their better situations to get a win. I'm not saying they're going to win it.
I mean, they got a bigger chance winning over the Colts, beating the Colts than they do the fucking Chargers, and I'm not convinced they can beat the Colts.
The point is New England sucks.
Yeah. No, they're definitely going to suck because the last game that they play this season is against Buffalo in New England. But we already know that Buffalo is going to get the win.
Patriots have a top 10 defense.
We'll see how that plays out.
And that'll translate into exactly 3 wins for them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, defense can only take you so far. It is what it is. But we are in the final topic of today's episode. Yes, football season is right around the corner, but guess what is going on right now? That is still baseball. And we are about to close today's episode out with Name That Base MLB Player. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, this player started his career in the farm system of the Red Sox, then became a Red Sox minor league affiliate. However, in July of 1988, he would be traded to the Baltimore Orioles. Now, in his time with Baltimore, it would be a quick stint as he spent 2 years there before being dealt to the Houston Astros in January of 1991. But much like Baltimore, it would also be a quick stint in Houston before he was traded to the Philadelphia Phillies in 1992, where he spent 8 years with them, and we really got to see him shine as a starter. However, unfortunately, in July of 2000, he would be traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks for a first baseman and 3 pitchers. Now, in Arizona, he would be part of the 2001.
Kurt Schilling.
It's Kurt Schilling.
Yes, sir.
As soon as you said traded to the Diamondbacks in 2001, yes, sir. My man won.
Sir, it would be this dude right here, Kurt Schilling. I was gonna say, as
soon as you said was it the Astros and then got traded to. I knew right then who it was. I was like, I was alive.
I mean, look, I really thought that this was a real brain teaser.
And then I nothing. I'm drawing a blank. And then all of a sudden he says traded. And I was like, okay, who was traded? And he says first baseman. I'm sitting there thinking like, hold on. That's fucking Kurt Schillings. And I'll tell you why. Because that is one of the guys that I remember growing up in the late 90s that the sportscasters would talk about, that every time he came into town, it was, man, if we would have only known. Man, if we would have kept it, like what could have been.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, this man was a 3-time World Series champion, and he was best known for having that bloody ankle game against the New York Yankees in the ALCS. And man, that still haunts me to this very day. But looks like Mr. Andrew Anderson, you look like you're getting ready to get up and get out of here.
He said, wrap it up.
Yeah, no, we're about to. But I want to thank y'all for being able to come on. I enjoyed this nearly 3-hour show of talking shit, talking sports, and talking shit about sports. Gentlemen, enjoy y'all's Friday night. Have fun, know your limits, but also, more importantly, have fun.
Next week on Villains.
Yes, sir. You already know I'll be there. And if I can't, I'll provide an update. Ooh, right, put the flex on them.
Next week. Peace.
Peace out, y'all. Oh, man. Let me talk to you. This show is always so much fun. Why? Because, like I said, we get to talk shit, we get to talk sports, and we get to talk shit about sports. But to close things out, man, I love what I do on the side. I can't even lie. But aside from that, the Paris Olympics are going on. And like I said, I do represent my black and red hat that says No Mercy Sports. But with the Olympics going on, I got to represent the USA, baby. Come on. I served in both the Navy and I'm currently serving in the Army right now. Aside from that, don't forget to check out this Saturday, WWE, the biggest party of the summer. That party being WWE SummerSlam. All right. There are definitely some great matchups that you are not going to want to miss. You should check them out. And if you have Peacock, be sure to tune in for WWE SummerSlam. Man, like I said, as always, I have fun hosting this show. Catch me as a co-host on College Sports Villains. I will see y'all next week. Peace out.